before the filming of the movie. Sean Astin, of course, who played Rudy in the Notre Dame recruiting film.
That's essentially what it turned out to be, Bob.
Yes, it was. And Tom Arnold was here and did a bit at Cedar Rapids Kennedy High School last weekend. And so, yes, it's a Hollywood production. Yes, some of the financing has come from the movie colonies in Los Angeles. Some apparently has been local. How much? I don't know what the ratio is. I don't have any idea. And now this is just speculation on my part. I think they will have to get the finished product and then get a distributor, I think.
Okay, because...
Now, that's just my guess.
Well, it was amazing to see
As to say this is MGM, Paramount, or
sure,
something like that, no.
Okay. Well, it sure should be shown at the very least here in the state of Iowa, and hopefully...
Well, we hope to get a premiere here.
Wow.
Of some kind.
That would be
And
great.
also, it should coincide either at the first part of next year's season here in the Midwest League, or certainly early on in the season. And it's going to be a movie that is somewhat like Field of Dreams and the Hoosiers.
That's what Jack Rader, our general manager, told me.
But now, when they do get the finished product and take it back, what the cutting is and the editing and so on, then we'll know more about it.
Bob Brooks is alongside here on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. It's Brooks at Bat. It's Mount Vernon-Lisbon night here at the ballpark. We're going to take a timeout and continue talking baseball and talking the current situation here with the Kernels, and we'll get Bob's take on that when we return in just 1 minute here on the Kernel Radio Network.
Communications Triple Play, voice, video, and data with South Slope Cooperative in North Liberty. South Slope's lineup features everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phone, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and digital video TV service in most areas. For all your communication needs, think South Slope. Visit them at southslope.com.
Now you get down and get along that row line. Yep.
Brooks at Bat. Bob Brooks is with us on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show, and Bob has talked about the filming of the movie The Final Season and the tragic event this afternoon in Walford with a helicopter that was filming a caravan or a parade of sorts for a scene in the movie The Final Season. The helicopter crashed, and tragically a life was lost and 2 are critically injured. Bob, on a different topic, and you have to bear with me because, well, you know the nature of this job can sometimes completely envelop you. I had heard that the University of Iowa had announced something important about the press facility at the new Kinnick Stadium, and I know you're as humble as they come and unassuming, but are you one of the people that will be permanently recognized in that press box area at Kinnick Stadium?
Yes.
Well, how did
My answer is yes.
How did they tell you about it? That's a wonderful honor.
Well, we got a note a little while ago, and then they issued a release yesterday.
It was yesterday, okay.
Yeah. And I had a tour of the new area and the new part of the stadium today, as a matter of fact.
Well, let us in on
a big thunderstorm came through while we were up in the area, so
you got to see if it would withstand that.
Oh, it did. Fine. It's in my view, when this is all done, and it'll be done for occupancy 60 days from tomorrow. Why, that'll be the 1st of September, of course, when they have the dedication. The first game is September the 2nd. So, and there is material and lines and cords and workers all over the place. But the whole thing, when it is done, I am sure that people will recognize it as one of the finest viewing areas for college football in the country. Not just the press box area that financed the whole thing, but the west stands and the east stands and the underpinnings and the brickwork that they have done and the plaza area and the whole ambiance of the Kinnick Stadium experience is going to be something.
It almost sounds, Bob, like the renovation of Kinnick Stadium is going to mean to Iowa football and Iowa alums and fans what this new stadium has meant to our community.
Yes, I think it will, and I was up in their suites today, and our suites here in Cedar Rapids are just about as good.
That's wonderful.
Probably the only difference would be a few feet here or there, but everything that they're installing, we have here. Of course, they have more up.
Well, sure. Bob, could you paint a picture? Because I'm familiar in Texas Stadium in Dallas, the Cowboys were one of the first teams to have a Ring of Honor with guys like Bob Lilly and Don Perkins and Don Meredith and Herb Adderley and guys like that. How are you recognized, you and the other media legends that have covered the Hawkeyes? Are there plaques for you?
There are going to be some plaques put up in the press box area.
With your name and picture and just a bio on you? A
little bit,
Well, that's just wonderful, Bob. I think it's classy that the university would do that, because you guys who would be called the first guard of young reporters who covered the Hawkeyes when first radio, then television, and then all the coaches shows and the commentary, the call-in shows. It's built now. The Internet's a part of the media coverage. But you guys were there when it was really in its infancy, weren't you?
It was fun. Yeah. That's what it was all about. It was just plain doggone good fun. We didn't have a lot of things that you had to worry about. It was, you were covering the team, your experience with the coaches, you were much closer to the coaches, knew them personally on a first-name basis. You were in the locker room at practice and after games and so on, and the whole thing was you were just kind of a member of the team. And that, of course, has changed.
Well, Bob, we have just another moment. Thank you for telling us about your tour this morning, and thank you for letting us know that you are, I believe, one of the 50 people that will be immortalized.
20 at the start.
Okay, 20 to start.
There will be certainly more in the future in there. The 19 others are certainly, I happen to know all of them.
Well, that's wonderful.
And, one time or another, and of course they've had a tremendous left a tremendous impression on me.
Oh, sure.
So it's wonderful that way. One little thing
you
about
bet, Bob. Yeah.
the stadium. The east stands, now this is the regular stands, built in 1929. The under part has been completely enclosed and done in and relighted, and concession stands have been increased, and the public rooms have been increased, but they also have sealed off the stands with an epoxy so the water won't drip from through the concrete into the lower area.
What's happened?
And you look at this from across from the west stands to the east stands. That stand came up in 1929. It looks as if it was made yesterday.
Wow.
It is really something. And the field that was put in last year, this is the best grass I've seen at Kingston Stadium or at Kinnick Stadium ever.
Is that right? So the grass is already growing?
Oh,
sod.
yeah.
Okay.
There.
They've sodded it.
They've already
And that was last year.
taken care of it. Yeah.
Wow, Bob. I'll tell you what, I'll leave you with the final thought. It sounds to me, I love going to Notre Dame or to South Bend for our series every year, and everybody has that mystique. All of our guys throughout the years, the players love to go to Notre Dame Stadium, partly because of the movie Rudy, but they love to just look at that hallowed stadium and think about Newt Rockne and Ara Parsegian and Lou Holtz. It sounds to me like what Iowa has done with their stadium is something this entire state can be proud of.
Definitely. And one of the final things that will be done, a statue of Niall Kennick will be put outside the South Plaza.
Wow. Well, Bob, thank you so much. We'll talk a little bit more about Kernels and the baseball because you'll be with us twice next week. You and I will have a player to interview, and maybe we can figure out how we can start winning some of these close one-run losses.
We're going to figure out that.
I hope so. Bob, I know you and Susie and Rob and your grandkids, Blair and Peter, enjoy meals around town, and we'd like to treat you this evening to some meals at Genghis Grill. They're another great friend of the Kernels.
Great.
It's easy to find right next to Buffalo Wild Wings, and I know Genghis Grill will welcome in you and your family.
Sure, that'll be wonderful. Thank you, sir.
Bob, thank you, and we'll see you next week and with Player, you and me.
Well, I think we'll wish everybody a happy 4th,
yes.
And I hope to see you out here at the ballpark.
I'll be here, and I'm glad you will be, too.
This is a place to be on the Independence
Oh,
weekend.
yes. We love being home for the 4th of July. A lot of teams in the league don't, but we do.
Yep.
Bob Brooks, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's legendary Hall of Fame sportscaster Bob Brooks. Brooks at Bat, our guest on the South Slope Communications Triple Play Show. The members of the Cost Cutters Dream Team are taking the field. We're going to keep it right here and give you the starting lineups for Game 2 of our series with the Cincinnati Red minor leaguers, the Dayton Dragons, who won last night's series opener 4-3. Dayton's won 5 straight games now. They're 5-3 in the East, and their skipper is former Southwest Michigan Devilry manager Southwest Michigan Battle Cat manager Billy Gardner Jr. Leading off at second base is Mike DeJesus for the visiting Dragons. Batting second, Adam Rosales, the shortstop. Jay Bruce, one of the finest young prospects in this league, is in right field batting third. He's only 19 years old, and he made a game-saving catch in right field last night. From Princeton, B.J. Szymanski will bat cleanup and be in center field for the Dragons. Batting fifth is Mike Griffin, the designated hitter. Big Bobby Mosby, 6'1", 290, will be at first base and bat sixth. Catching and batting seventh for Dayton is Craig Tatum. Brad Key is playing in just his 4th game for the Dragons. He'll be at third base and hit 8th. And it'll be Josh Holden, a graduate of the United States Military Academy at West Point. Holden will bat 9th and be in left field. Making his Dragon debut tonight is 20-year-old Mexican right-hander Daniel Guerrero. Guerrero was 2-0 with the Billings Mustangs with a 0.75 ERA in 2 starts. So Daniel Guerrero will make his Midwest League debut tonight. He's a 20-year-old right-hander from Mexico. The umpires have taken in the lineups, and here's how the Kernels will look tonight. The Allen Motor Company Kernels starting lineup. Leading off is the leading base stealer in the league, Brad Kuhn. He has 29 steals. Brad will be in center field. Batting second, he's been hot in the second half. He's lifted his average over the 200 mark. Larry Infante at second base. Hitting third, the shortstop, switch hitter Heinle Stacia. The Colonel left fielder is batting cleanup, Flint Whipke. He collected his 7th triple of the year last night. Flint leads the league with 7 triples. Designated hitter Jordan Renz will bat 5th. Hitting 6th in the Allen Motor Company order, Mark Trumbo at first base. 20-year-old Australian Josh Davies will make his Veterans Memorial Stadium debut. He played well on our 7-game road trip in Fort Wayne and Burlington. Josh Davies will bat 7th at the hot corner. Batting 8th is Brett Martinez, and it'll be Marco Albano in right field, batting 9th for the Kernels. Rounding out the Allen Motor Company Kernel starting lineup, making his 16th start of the year, 21-year-old right-hander Robert Moose Mosebach. Moose is 4-4, a 3.21 ERA. Mosebach started the second half Sunday with his first start. It was in Fort Wayne. A no decision for Moose in a 7-6 13-inning Kernel loss to the Wizards. Moose Mosebach is on the hill tonight for the Kernels. The Allen Motor Company Kernels starting lineup brought to you by our great friends at Allen Motor Company. I-380 Boyson Road, exit 25 in Hiawatha. Allen's is open until 5 o'clock tomorrow evening. Enjoy the great 4th of July weekend weather and the free time you might have on your hand to head out to Allen Motor Company. They'll make it well worth it with a plush, lush, affordably priced 2005 Buick LeSabre Custom for as low as $13,890. That's only $199 a month at Allen Motor Company. Plus, your first year's maintenance is free at Allen Motor Company when you purchase that 2005 Buick LeSabre Custom. The umpires are Brad Purdom. Purdom will be behind the plate. His partner on the diamond is Anthony West. Anderson & Brown Eye Care sponsors our umpires. Things are coming into focus at Anderson & Brown Eye Care in their new location in Hiawatha, I-380 Boyson Road, exit 25. Anderson & Brown Eye Care is your full-service comprehensive eye care center. That means you can have your eyes examined at their new facility in Hiawatha and then pick out your glasses and or contact lenses right on site at Anderson & Brown Eye Care. Easy in, easy out. The Kernels have taken the field, and they're in their white home uniforms with navy blue hats and red bills, red numbers trimmed in black, red socks. Let's pause to honor America with the singing of the national anthem. It'll be Jim Beatty, the coach of the MLB Kids League. Jim Beatty will sing tonight's national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, to honor America, please join the singing of our national anthem. It is being performed this evening by Jim Beatty.
Great round of applause, deservedly so, for Jim Beatty from the Mount Vernon Lisbon Kids League. The Kernels are out to break a losing skid that has seen us drop a couple in a row and fall to 3-5 in the second half. We need to get things going and really make a charge at trying to be a playoff team, and all of that will likely hinge on whether our offense can come up into a higher gear. We'll be back in one moment with tonight's first pitch on the Kernel Radio Network.
For more information, call 1-7-2-9. South Slope Cooperative. We're here for your communication needs. Internet service, telephone, and TV. As a cooperative telephone company, our members are owners. Make us a team. Communications Triple Play, voice, video, and data with South Slope Cooperative in North Liberty. South Slope's lineup features everything that connects you to information. Digital wireless phones, long-distance plans, data home and business wiring, video conferencing, dial-up and high-speed internet service, fiber optic installation and termination, and digital video TV service in most areas. For all your communication needs, think South Slope. Visit them at southslope.com.
We're back at Veterans Memorial Stadium. It's a sunny, beautiful start to the Independence holiday weekend, and Moose Mosebach, Colonel right-hander, will be pitching to Mike DeJesus to start the game. DeJesus didn't play in last night's series opener. He's batting .258. Mike has 2 homers, 23 RBIs. A big crowd on hand here, and we'll tell you who some of the groups are as we go along. We also expect to have a visitor from the mayor's office. The mayor himself, Mike Williams from Lisbon, is to join us a little bit later this evening. Also invited our great friend from South Slope Communications, who sponsors our Triple Play show, Steph Rourke. I'm not sure if Steph is able to be here tonight, but we sure hope she is. We're ready for baseball. And Moose delivers a strike called at the knees. We're underway. Mike DeJesus didn't play last night. He's a left-handed batter. And he swings late at Moose Mosebach fastball, down and in, strike 2 to the left-handed batter. Kernels led early last night 3-0, scored 3 in the third inning, but then didn't score the rest of the night, and Dayton caught us and won it 4-3. They capitalized on a leadoff walk in the 7th inning to score the go-ahead run. Ball one just inside a slider to DeJesus. The Kernels go with Josh Davies, the 20-year-old Australian, at third. Heinle Statius at short. Larry Infante at second. Trumbo at first. Here's a slow roller up the first base side. And Moose Mosebach cuts over to his left and picks the ball up and then beats the batter to the base. An unassisted putout for the Colonel 21-year-old right-hander, Moose Mosebach, who's pitched very, very well this year. An unassisted putout for Mosebach to start tonight's contest as he got Mike DeJesus on a weak roller up the first baseline. Adam Rosales is now batting for the Dragons, and Rosales played a big role in last night's Dayton comeback win. He made an error that led to 3 unearned Colonel runs in the bottom of the third inning, but then he doubled leading off the fourth and scored to make it 3-1 Dragon, or 3-1 Kernels. Then he singled in a run in Dayton's 2-run fifth inning, tie the game at 3. Strike one at the knees to Adam Rosales. Big right-handed batter who takes downstairs for ball one. Rosales is batting .256. And he backs away from a pitch inside for ball 2. Adam has played in only 11 games for the Dragons. No homers, 3 RBIs. As I said, he had a big one last night. Rosales grounds it on 2 big hops to short. Deep in the hole, Stacia throws Adam Rosales out. A terrific play by the Colonel all-star shortstop, who had to go deep in the hole on a high 2-hopper, and he gunned in time, just in time, to get Adam Rosales. I'll tell you what, Heinle Stacia has just been so fluid, consistent, and reliable at shortstop this year. He's really been a pleasure to watch. 2 away in the Dayton first inning. The batter is Jay Bruce. Bruce, a first-round pick of the Reds last year, hasn't disappointed the Brass in Cincinnati. He's batting .308, 10 homers, 51 RBIs. He's second in the league, or third in the league in runs driven in. He takes low, and now a backdoor slider from Mosebach is a strike called. Jay Bruce, 2 for 4 last night. RBI single in the fourth, put the Dragons on the board. And a changeup for Mosebach is blooped foul up into the third base stands by Jay Bruce. A lot of children here tonight from Mount Vernon and Lisbon. Hiawatha Kids League kids are here. It's a big crowd. Jay Bruce pops one in the air to right center. Brad Kuhn, with his glasses down, moseys over a bit to his left and makes the catch to end the inning. Moose Mosebach gets Jay Bruce to fly to center, and down in order go the Dragons in the top of the first inning. It's a beautiful Friday night. You're enjoying Colonel Baseball on 1450 KMRY, and after 1/2 inning, it's the Dragons nothing, and the Colonels coming to bat. This is Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to the ballpark every Wednesday this season. You heard right. Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to Veterans Memorial Stadium every Wednesday this season. The first 750 of you Kernel fans to enter the gates before Wednesday's home game will receive an envelope full of money inside from Fairfax State Savings Bank. Each of those 750 envelopes will contain a greenback up to a $100 bill. Fairfax State Savings Bank, free money Wednesdays. Come early to line your pocket with cash.
Meet Jim. Well, it's nice how he spends weekends in his yard trying to kill weeds. Gotcha. Meet Dave. He spends weekends on the green. That's because Greg's Lawn Service takes care of his lawn. Mowing, fertilizing, pruning, and, weed control. Greg does the big jobs, too. Landscaping, retaining walls, curb edging, patios. So when you've had enough of those little devils...
Aha! Yes!
Call 393-0101. Greg's Lawn Service. Not above the rest.
Hi, I'm Tanya Sedlock, your local Pekin insurance agent at Andrews Insurance here in Cedar Rapids. We all know how quickly life can change. You buy a new car or a new home. Your family is blessed with a new baby. Your teenager starts driving the family car. I'm here to help with a complete line of insurance plans to give you protection when you need it the most. Pekin Insurance has been in business of insuring people for 85 years. I'm here to put your interests first. Please visit me, Tanya Sedlock, at the Andrews Agency.
No score is Brad Kuhn, the outstanding Kernel leadoff batter who leads the league with 29 steals, will lead off against rookie right-hander Daniel Guerrero. Guerrero is from Mexico, and he pitched in 2 games for Billings, won both of them to start the Pioneer League season, and he's making his Midwest League debut tonight, wearing a long-sleeve black shirt underneath his Dayton gray road top. And the first pitch to Kuhn. Here's a strike called. Brad was 1 for 4 last night. Reached on an error with 2 out in the third and scored on Flint Whipke's 2-run triple. And then Brad bunted his way on with 1 out in the 8th inning. Left-handed hitter. And a swing and a foul just to our left. That one up into the suites just to our left. And it's 0-2 to Brad Kuhn. Brad has had good success against the Dragons. He's 7 for 18. Overall, Kuhn hitting .259, no homers, 18 RBIs. The Dayton outfield plays Kuhn to hit the other way. The 0-2 from Guerrero is slapped into left field. That's a leadoff single for Brad Kuhn. Brad on an 0-2 pitch, waited on a changeup, and just poked it to the left of Brad Key at third base. And Brad Kuhn has gotten the Kernels started on the right foot tonight with a leadoff single. It came on a 0-2 pitch from Daniel Guerrero. 1 on, nobody out. For the Kernel, left-handed hitting second baseman Larry Infante. Larry bunted his way on with 1 out in the 9th inning last night. The runner goes, and Infante, a beautifully executed hit-and-run single, slices it into left field. Brad Kuhn stopped at third, and the Kernels are in business here at the top of the first inning. Runners at first and third with nobody out. The shortstop, Adam Rosales, left his position to cover second as Kuhn was running, and that made the difference. Larry Infante placed it into left field in the slot that Adam Rosales had vacated as he went over to cover second. What a beautifully executed hit-and-run single by Larry Infante, and the Kernels have a chance to jump out on top here tonight in the first inning. Heinle Statius batter. Heinle is a .270 batter. 1 homer, 20 RBIs. Heinle leads the Kernels with 19 doubles. Ball 1 is low and in from Daniel Guerrero. First and third for the Kernels with nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning. Dayton won last night 4-3 to take a 3-2 games lead in the season series between our two clubs. We split with the Dragons back in early May in Southern Ohio. A throw to first, and that one was almost a wild throw as big Bobby Mosby had to lean across and almost knocked over Larry Infante like a bowling pin. Kuhn at third, Infante at first with nobody out. Heinle looks at a fastball at the knees, a strike called. It's 1-1. There was action this afternoon on the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Interleague play. The crosstown clash in Chicago. We'll tell you about it. A throw to first. Infante just got back standing up. State Farm Insurance agents Brad Dunn, Al Shetler, Dale Thompson, and Gary Schubat sponsor the State Farm Major League scoreboard. And today at Wrigley Field, the White Sox knocked off the Cubs 6-2. Ball Ball 2 is a fastball low and outside from the 20-year-old Mexican Daniel Guerrero. Guerrero pitched in 14 games with the Reds' Venezuelan Summer League team last year. 2-1 with a 3.08 ERA, 6 starts, 8 relief appearances for Daniel Guerrero. Runners at the corners for the Kernels. The 2-1 to Heinle is high and outside, off the catcher's mitt. He throws to second, not in time. Larry Infante advances to second. Good base running by Larry. As that ball was high and outside, Craig Tatum dropped it. It's ruled a wild pitch on Guerrero. Daniel making his first start of the Midwest League season as a Dragon, and he now has runners at second and third, and it's a 3-1 count on Heinle Statia. Kuhn at third, Infante at second for the Kernels. We'll see a new Kernel pitcher later on this homestand, Anthony Ortega. He took the slot vacated by All-Star Nick Aidenhart, who was promoted. There's a changeup in the dirt, and Heinle Statia went around, didn't mean to. 4 strike 2. Heinle swung at ball 4, but the changeup fooled him. Now Craig Tatum, the Dayton catcher, trots out to the hill to have a word with his right-hander. So the White Sox won at Wrigley today, 6-2. And the White Sox still trail the Tigers. The Tigers tonight are hosting the Pirates in interleague play. Full count now on Heinle Statia. The payoff pitch just missed low. The Dragons wanted the call. Did not get it. I thought it was a pretty good pitch. It looked like strike 3 from here. Daniel Guerrero grimaced in agony as the plate umpire, Brad Perdome, ruled that borderline fastball just outside. It's bases loaded, nobody out for Flint Whipkey here in the first inning. Kernels now have an even better chance to break out on top. Dragon infield here in the bottom of the first inning at double play depth with the bases jammed for the Kernel cleanup batter. Fastball on the inside corner, a strike called to Flint. Flint Whipkey now leads the Midwest League in triples with 7. His 2-out, 2-run triple in the third inning last night put the Kernels up 2-0. Flint then scored on an RBI single by Statia. Fastball just inside to Whipkey, 4. Ball 1. Josh Holden in left for the Dragons. The center fielder out of Princeton, B.J. Szymanski, and in right field it's Jay Bruce. They all three have their glasses on, their sunglasses that is. The Kernels have the bases juiced here in the bottom of the first inning. And a curve is a swing and a miss, according to the base umpire, Anthony West. West ruled that Flint Whipkey broke his wrist and took a half swing at that curveball down and away, and it's 1-2 to Whipkey. Kuhn at third, Infante at second, Statia at first. Bottom of the first inning. Nobody out. The 1-2 to the Kernel cleanup batter, Whipkey, is a curveball just low for ball 2. Kernels 3-5 in the second half, tied with the Burlington Bees for third place in the standings. Beloit leads the Midwest League Western Division second half standings. They're 5-3. Clinton's 4-4. Kane County, Peoria, Quad Cities also 4-4. The Kernels and Bees are 3-5, and Wisconsin is in the cellar. They're 2-6. Here's the 2-2 to Flint. High, ball 3. Now it'll be fun. This is the pitch that batters dream about. Bases loaded. Nobody out. Bottom of the first inning, no score. Flint Whipkey with a .263 average, a homer, 21 RBIs. Walk! Flint Whipkey drives in his 22nd run of the year by drawing a bases-loaded walk. It was over but low, and trotting home to make it 1-0 Kernels here in the first inning is Brad Kuhn. Well, what a great at-bat for Flint Whipkey. He was in the hole, 1-2, and then built to walk out of right-hander Daniel Guerrero. Now the pitching coach of the Lumber Kings comes out to the mound. Bright sunshine here at the ballpark tonight. Bright sunshine. A very light breeze blowing out from the first base grandstand towards left center field. And our game time temperature, 84 degrees. Larry Pearson trying to get his right-hander back on track. The pitching coach has been thrown out of the game. The Dayton pitching coach has been thrown out of this game because of that borderline pitch moments ago to Heinle Stacia. Heinle Stacia, with runners at second and third, took a 3-2 pitch, which I said at the time looked like strike three. Heinle took it. Listen to the crowd. They're booing Larry Pearson, the Dayton pitching coach, who was thrown out of this game by plate umpire Brad Purdom. Purdom is now making a note on the incident. And again, the reason the pitching coach was thrown out of the game, he was upset about a 3-2 pitch moments ago to Heinle Stacia that loaded the bases. The Dayton dugout thought it was strike three to Heinle. They thought Heinle should have been called out on strikes. Brad Purdom called it ball four, and Larry Pearson got all over the plate umpire on his visit to the mound. Now Jordan Renz with a chance to do big damage. Look out! A pitch inside almost hit Jordan Renz. Ball one. Jordan Renz had to jackknife out of the way of a fastball from Daniel Guerrero right in on his knees. Ball one to Jordan. Colonel cleanup batter Jordan Renz hitting .235. 14 home runs, 44 RBIs. Jordan grounds one off the railing of the Dayton third base dugout. Jordan Renz has really struggled since hurting his shoulder before the All-Star break in Davenport. Jordan was 0-for-4 last night. But what a great tonic or cure it would be if Jordan Renz could come through with the bases loaded and nobody out. Ball two inside from Daniel Guerrero, who's made some good pitches here in the bottom of the first inning, but trails 1-0. The Kernels still have the bases loaded with nobody out. Infante at third, Heinle Stacia at second, Whipkey at first. From the stretch, Guerrero delivers. Swing and a miss on a changeup. Jordan Renz out in front, now leaves the batting box to adjust his batting gloves. Jordan has his wrist taped with white athletic tape. Jordan Renz trying to put the ball in play and add the Colonel 1-0 lead here at the bottom of the first inning. The pitch, low, a changeup, ball three. We have a big crowd here tonight. On the Miller Mezzanine, Cold Beers Cheap Seats group and the Lemon Roberts birthday party. They're enjoying the action above the Colonel first base dugout. Here's another payoff pitch with the bases loaded. Upstairs, ball four. Jordan Renz drives in his 45th run of the year. Larry Infante crosses the plate to make it 2-0 Kernels. And the 20-year-old Mexican making his first start of the Midwest League season after 2 wins in the Pioneer League with the Billings Mustangs has run into a tough time of it here in the bottom of the first inning. I would bet my bottom dollar that this is the first time all year the Kernels have drawn 3 walks in a row. We're not a very patient hitting ball club. And the Dragons get a tall right-hander up in their bullpen. Mark Trumbo now the batter with the bases jammed, and Mark pops the first pitch foul on top of the grandstand roof behind home plate. The right-hander warming up in the Dayton bullpen is Rainier Feliz. Rainier Feliz is warming up for the Dragons. He's a tall right-hander. Kernels have scored a pair on 2 hits and 3 walks, the 0-1 to Trumbo. A long drive to left. At the wall, it's going to be caught by Josh Holden, tagging at third and scoring is Heinle Stacia, and the Kernels lead it 3-0. Mark Trumbo comes through with his 33rd RBI of the year and makes it a 3-0 game. Trumbo with a sacrifice fly, hit it deep to left. Josh Holden went back and caught it in front of the warning track for the first out of the inning, and it's 3-0 Kernels. I know I probably got you up on the edge of your seat when I called that, because when it left the bat, it looked like it had a chance, but then it dipped and There was a lot of topspin on it, and Josh Holden went back, gloved it in deep left, trotting home from third to make it 3-0 Kernels. Was Stacia. Whipkey stayed at second. Here's a ground ball, double play ball to third, backhanded by Key. Throw to second out, throw to first, safe. Beating out the ground ball to third, Josh Davies. On to third went Whipkey. Jordan Renz was forced. Brad Key, the third baseman, to Mike DeJesus, 5-4. And Josh Davies reaches on a fielder's choice. The second out of the Colonel first inning went third baseman Brad Key, who backhanded the grounder off the bat of Josh Davies and threw to Mike DeJesus for the second out of the inning. Now it's first and third, 2 out, and the eighth man to bat in the Colonel 3-run first is Brett Martinez. There's a fastball on the inside corner, strike one to Brett. Brett Martinez hasn't played since Monday night in Burlington. He's had 3 nights off. Brett hitting .229, 2 homers, 23 runs driven in. Breaking pitch, and Brett lofts it foul onto the Papa John's Plaza bleachers section down the right field line. Out on the Westdale Mall Mix 96.5 FM Whirling Waters home run hot tub is Jessica Lincoln. And she and her family and friends are enjoying the ball game from the Whirling Waters Mix 96.5 FM Westdale Mall home run hot tub. First and third, 2 out. First inning, 3-0 Kernels, the 0-2. And it's chopped to third. Key charges it, makes a good play on a short hop, and throws out Brett Martinez. Brad Key had to charge that bouncer on an 0-2 pitch to get Brett Martinez. Anytime you send 8 men to the plate in the first inning, good things result. That's what the Kernels did, and the Kernels strike for 3 runs. On 2 base hits, 3 walks. There were no errors committed by the Dragons. The Kernels leave 2 men aboard. And after 1, the Kernels lead Dayton 3-0. You're tuned to Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
There's a lot you can do to satisfy your taste for Italian. You can marry one.
Do you, Susan Smith, take Giuseppe Florentino?
You can drive one. Or you can go to Zio Giano's and feast on Zio's homemade bread, pizzas, and pasta, authentically prepared as Zio Giano's famous Italian style. Zio Giano's for the hometown taste of Italy.
Oh, come to Zio Giano's, a pasta makes you zero. Come to Zio Giano's for Italiano. Come to Zio Giano's, a pasta makes.
What do I get, cost cutters? Hey, my hair is my trademark. I gotta be able to count on a good cut and stuff to keep my hair looking thick, even if it's not.
I get a good cut, no long wait, a smile, and a little something left over in my wallet.
I get little trims that keep my hair long and healthy, and stuff to make it loose and curly one day, straight and sassy the next.
With expert stylists trained in the latest trends and techniques and your favorite professional styling and hair care products, you'll always get what you're looking for at Cost Cutters. At Cost Cutters, you can always count on convenient, affordable, professional care and products that help you create just the style you want. At Cost Cutters, you'll always get a little more.
What do I get at Cost Cutters? A slick, clean cut, great highlights, and a little wig from the hottest stylist I've ever seen.
3-0 Kernels as we go to the second inning. The Kernels got a leadoff single from Brad Kuhn, a beautifully executed hit-and-run single by Infante, put our runners at the corners with nobody out. Then Heinle Station walked. Flint Whiskey drew a bases-loaded walk to make it 1-0. Jordan Renz walked to make it 2-0, and Mark Trumbo delivered a sacrifice fly to left to make it 3-0. So a lead with which to work for Moose Mosebach. Moose is 1-4 and lost 4, and the first pitch is rattled into right center field. A leadoff single for B.J. Szymanski. Marco Albano making the start in right field tonight, and Marco gets it back in for the Kernels, and it's a leadoff single. Oh, your mom's here? Luvita, I didn't know your mom was here. Where's she sitting? Okay. Luvita, thank you. I did not see her at first. Now I do. B.J. Szymanski with the leadoff single, and the batter's Mike Griffin. Mike's a right-handed hitter, batting fifth for the Dragons. And he takes a strike call. B.J. Szymanski was nothing for 3 last night. He walked leading off the 8th and stole second. He leads off the second by singling into right field. Mike Griffin, 1 for 5 as the leadoff batter for the Dragons last night. He's hitting .276, 3 homers, 31 RBIs. Moose with an effective pitch that handcuffed Mike Griffin, the right-handed batter, and he twisted himself into a knot and swung and missed. Strike 2 on Mike Griffin. Griffin hitting .276, a throw to first, and Szymanski. Now, wait a minute. A balk has been called on Moose Mosebach. A balk has been called on the Colonel right-hander. I didn't see what Moose did. I'm sure Al Grewell, a former umpire, and our official scorer, I'm sure Al saw what Mosebach did or didn't do. He may not have come to a discernible stop. I'm not sure. But at any rate, the Dragons get a free base as Moose Mosebach commits a balk. This fella Griffin is 3rd in the league in doubles with 24. And he grounds it up the middle, and it's knocked down by Heinle Stacia. Stacia just saved a run. The ball then rolled to the second baseman, Larry Infante, and it's 1st and 3rd. Nobody out for the Dragons here in the bottom of the second inning, or top of the second. What the Colonels desperately wanted in this inning was a shutdown inning from Moose Mosebach. That's what you aim for when you score from your pitcher the next half inning. You want him if at all possible, to shut down the opposition so the momentum stays in your dugout. But it looks like the Dragons don't want to be a willing participant in that scenario. Bobby Mosby's now up for Dayton. Bobby, nothing for 4 last night. Was a 25th round draft pick by Cincinnati in 2002. He's 23 years old, out of East St. Louis, Illinois, and he went to Northeastern Oklahoma A&M University. Bobby Mosby, strong right-handed batter, 6'1", 290. The runner from first goes, and Mosby lifts one high in the air down the right field line, chased into the corner by Marco Albano, and it's up into the plaza seats. Marco Albano just did an 80-yard wind sprint to his left, hustling over for that foul ball. Mike Griffin was running on the first pitch from Moose Mosebach. Moose is making his 16th start of the year. He's pitched 95 in the 3rd innings, allowed 99 hits, struck out 49 in 95 in the 3rd, walked 23. Mosby tips the next pitch foul behind home plate, and boy, could Moose Mosebach use a strikeout pop-up or double play to get out of this second inning jam. Three 3-0 Kernels, a throw to first, and Mike Griffin got, a balk has been called on Moose Mosebach, the second balk of this inning, and Dayton scores a gift run. A gift run, the second balk of the inning. Moose Mosebach pleading his case to the plate umpire, but it'll be no good. And the Dragons immediately cut into the Colonel lead, just like they did last night. We led 3-0. Now we've allowed Dayton to score, and they get a gift run. Moose Mosebach charged with the second balk of the inning. Moose pointed at the rubber. Neither Bobby Magallanes nor Kernan Ronan are allowed to argue a balk, because if you do, you're automatically ejected from the game. 3-1 Kernels. Bobby Mosby on an 0-2 pitch. The runner goes. The pitch hit Bobby Mosby. Bobby Mosby is struck on an 0-2 pitch, and Mike Griffin was running. He'll have to go back to second, and Moose Mosebach's troubles continue here in the second inning. He's allowed a hit, committed 2 balks. He's allowed 2 hits, committed 2 balks, and he just hit a man on an 0-2 pitch. Ooh, when you hit a guy on an 0-2 pitch, it usually means the makings of a big inning. Here comes Kernan Ronan, the Colonel pitching coach. Will have a heart-to-heart conversation with Moose Mosebach, sponsored by Mercy Medical Center. You owe it to yourself and the people who you love to find out what your risk of heart disease is with the $35 heart-to-heart screening from Mercy Medical Center. That heart-to-heart screening from Mercy Medical Center is quick, easy, and convenient. Most important, it could save your life. To schedule a heart-to-heart screening from Mercy, call Mercy 398-6821, 398-6821. And Kernan Ronan has completed his Mercy Medical Center heart-to-heart conversation with Moose Mosebach. And it's first and second, nobody out for the Dragons. Boy, oh boy, we just can't get our act together in terms of playing winning baseball. You take a 3-0 lead in the bottom of the first inning, and I don't care who your starting pitcher is. I'm not pointing the finger at Moose Mosebach. This could be anybody, but you cannot give up a big inning. So far, it has not been a big inning for the Dragons, but they have scored a run, and they have runners at first and second with nobody out for the number 7 hitter, Craig Tatum. And Craig fouls the first pitch at his feet for strike one. Tatum didn't play last night. Craig is a .261 batter, 3 homers, 16 RBIs. He's a right-handed hitter, and he chops one to shallow third. Gloved there by Josh Davies, who throws the batter out. The runners advance into scoring position, essentially a swinging bunt by Craig Tatum. And Josh Davies had to make a good play to charge that topper. Josh came way in front of the bag at third, reached down, nabbed it, and then threw on the run in time to get the catcher, Craig Tatum. Now it's second and third for Brad Key. Brad Key has only played in 3 games as a Dragon. He's out of the University of South Carolina, Aiken. 23-year-old right-handed hitter, 48th round pick of the Reds in 2004. He played in 68 games for the Dragons last year, and Moose Mosebach's slider is taken low and outside for ball 1. 3-1 Kernels. Top of the second inning. Bright sunshine here at the ballpark. The Dragons have the tying runs in scoring position for right-handed hitting Brad Key. There's a strike called on the inside corner from Moose Mosebach. Last year with Dayton, Brad Key, this hitter, batted .242 in 68 games. He socked 6 home runs, drove in 31. The 1-1 to Key. High and in, a fastball. Moose Mosebach's pitch count is soaring here in the second inning. He has made a lot of pitches. He breezed through the first inning, did the Colonel right-hander, but he's run into a buzzsaw here in the Dayton second. Griffin at third, Bobby Mosby at second, and a swing and a miss, strike 2 on the batter, Brad Key. Josh Davies at third is playing about 20 feet behind the base and about 15 feet off the line. The Colonel outfield, Whipke in left, Kuhn in center, Marco Albano at right, straight away. A tap to short, a run will score. Stacia fields it, throws to first, not in time. An infield single for Brad Key. An infield single on a very weakly hit grounder to shallow short. Heinley Stacia came on quickly as he could. Reached down to glove it, then threw on the run, not in time to get Brad Key, and the Colonel lead has now been whittled to 1 run. It's 3-2 Kernels here in the second inning. First and third, still only 1 out in the inning, and Josh Holden out of West Point is now the batter. Ooh, this has been a frustrating inning for Moose Mosebach and the Kernels. Runners at the corners now for Dayton. Still only 1 out. Holden doubled in a run and scored in the Dragon 2-run 5th inning last night. Josh is batting .253. Husky left-handed batter, straightaway stance. Uses a black lacquer bat. Mosebach looks the runner back to third and then whirls and looks Brad Key back to first. 3-2 Kernels here in the top of the second inning. I'll be darned. A bouncer to first. Mark Trumbo fields it in fair ground. Throws home. Bobby Mosby tagged out at the plate. Bobby Mosby out, and there are 2 gone here in the Dragons' second inning. Big play by Mark Trumbo to prevent the Dragons from tying the game. Josh Holden nubbed one up the first baseline. Trumbo fielded it about 10 feet in front of the bag at first, then looked into a blinding sun, fired home, and big Bobby Mosby came rumbling down the third baseline. He was tagged out at the plate by Brett Martinez. Out at the plate, Trumbo to Martinez. Josh Holden reaches on a fielder's choice. Brad Key goes to second. There are now 2 out in the Dragons' second inning. And strike 1 at the knees to Mike DeJesus, the leadoff batter. This has been a wacky, long second inning for the Dragons, who have 2 on and 2 out. Mike DeJesus dribbled one up the first baseline that was picked up by Moose Mosebach. Here's a throw to second, and Brett Martinez just about got the lead runner, Brad Key, had Brett's throw been a little bit further closer to the bag. It was to the left field side at second. Heinle Stacia had to reach back, and the Kernels almost had Brad Key. As I was saying, DeJesus was retired by the Kernel pitcher Mosebach on a slow roller up the middle, or down the first base side. Here's a ground ball up the middle, and it's fielded by Larry Infante, who steps on second to end the inning. Tapping one over the hill, Mike DeJesus, and that was an unassisted putout for Larry Infante of Josh Holden. Wow, what a wacky second inning. The Dragons sent 7 men to the plate. They strike for 2 runs on 3 hits. 2 balks, a hit batsman, no Kernel errors, and 2 left by Dayton. After an inning and a half, the Kernels lead the Dragons 3-2. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Every day we use products that come to us in plastics. Milk jugs, water bottles, laundry detergent, ice cream. These are just a few of the hundreds, thousands of products that benefit from plastics. But once you're done using them, what do you do with them? Recycle. It takes no more energy to put that plastic in your blue recycling box rather than the trash. But what it does save is landfill space and natural resources. Reduce, reuse, recycle. It's just that easy. This message brought to you by Solid Waste and Recycling Services.
We'll be right back here tomorrow, and it'll be fireworks. Procter & Gamble Fireworks Night here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. The gates open at 6. The game starts at 7. That's tomorrow evening. We kick off the month of July with a bang. Fireworks tomorrow. You can order your tickets by calling 896-7560, 896-7560, or log on to the Kernel website, www.kernels.com. Sunday, Myron Noodleman will be here to entertain. Myron is a Jerry Lewis lookalike, and Myron Noodleman will be here on Sunday. The game starts at 2. The gates open at 1 o'clock Sunday afternoon. And if you're among the first 500 Kernel fans wearing a Freedom Festival pin, you'll receive a backpack shaped like a jersey. That's Sunday, July 2nd. The Kernels will be signing autographs from 1:20 until 1:40. And you can run the bases after the game thanks to Velocity Sports Performance. Marco Albano is first up for the Kernels. Bottom of the second, a fastball upstairs from Daniel Guerrero. 3-2 Kernels here in the bottom of the second inning. Marco Albano, a .210 hitter, no homers, 10 RBIs. And he lifts one into deep right, sending Jay Bruce back. Bruce battling the sun in front of the warning track, lassos it in. Marco Albano, who didn't play in last night's series opener, is flown out to deep right, 1 away here in the Kernels' second inning. And the man that got it all started for the Kernels in the first inning with a base hit on an 0-2 pitch into left field, Brad Kuhn will bat for the second time. 3-2 Kernels. The Kernel team batting average, .233. That's 12th in the 14-team Midwest League. We're facing a Dayton pitching staff that's ranked 9th in the 14-team circuit with a 3.69 ERA. Kernels tied for 5th in the league with 44 home runs and lead the league with 103 steals. A breaking pitch in for a strike to Brad. Now Kuhn laces one down the left field line. Josh Holden can't get it. It's off the base of the Randy Kehl-Humphreys Picnic Pavilion, and speeding into second with a stand-up double ahead of Holden's good throw is Brad Kuhn. Brad Kuhn is 2 for 2 tonight. Kuhn smashed one over the head of the left fielder Josh Holden off the base of the 16-foot-high white and blue padded wall and left the Randy Kehl-Humphreys Picnic Pavilion sign. Brad Kuhn is 2 for 2. And the Kernels have a chance to score here in the second inning with Larry Infante batting. Larry keyed the Kernel 3-run first inning with a hit-and-run single into left field. Infante has really come alive with the bat in the last month or so. A high drive to right, way back at the wall, and Larry Infante has clubbed a 2-run homer to give the Kernels a 5-2 lead here in the bottom of the second inning. the third home run of the year for Larry Infante. And with Brad Kuhn aboard, Larry crushed it just to the left of the 390 mark over the University of Iowa black, gold, and white sign just underneath the scoreboard. Larry Infante. Now here's a line shot into right, a base hit for Heinley Stacia. Over to get it to his right, Jay Bruce, the right fielder. And Heinley Stacia has reached base for the second time in a row. Heinley walked and scored in the Kernel 3-run first. He lashes a single after the Kuhn double and Infante 2-run homer. And the Kernels are having good success against 20-year-old Dayton right-hander Daniel Guerrero. That home run by Larry Infante, the 2-run blast over the right center field fence, means that PRC's Community Care will donate another $25 to the Haycap Food Reservoir in PRC's Home Runs for the Hungry campaign. The Kernels have now hit a total of 45 home runs, and that means PRC's Community Care has contributed $1,025 to the Haycap Food Reservoir in their Home Runs for the Hungry campaign. A throw to first. It gets by Bobby Mosby. Heinley Stacia's rounding second, and they're going to wave him to third. Now he stops. He stops at second as Bobby Mosby gets it in the Kernel bullpen. That error may be on Bobby Mosby, the first baseman. We'll have to wait and see what Al Gruwell says, the official scorer. Al may be looking at instant replay. It looked like a pretty good pickoff attempt by Daniel Guerrero. No, they have charged the error on Guerrero. I think he threw it into Heinley Stacia's body. Now Flint Whipke still hasn't seen a pitch from Guerrero. He does now. It's an Uncle Charlie high for ball one. Another $25 from PRC's Community Care to the Haycap Food Reservoir in PRC's Home Runs for the Hungry campaign, thanks to Larry Infante's 2-run blast here in the second inning. A towering pop-up. This will not be an easy play. The catcher runs into Flint Whipke, and the third baseman comes hustling down the third baseline and makes the grab. Brad Key had to come all the way in towards the left side of the dirt batting circle. That's because Flint Whipke got all tangled up with catcher Craig Tatum, and Flint Whipke has fouled out just a few feet to the left of home plate. The third baseman, Brad Key, had to rush in and glove it. 2 gone here in the Kernel second, and the Kernels are on top 5-2. Here's Jordan Renz. Backing away from a curveball that nips the inside corner. Strike one to Jordan. Pre-game picnics were enjoyed tonight by the Cedar Rapids Prairie class of 1981 and Mercy Care Monticello, Iowa. They enjoyed a picnic before the game, and now they're watching from the grandstand. Swing and a miss by Jordan. He chased a changeup blown away. Strike two. On the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion in left field, you cannot see an open seat. That's because Premier Investments, Western Fraternal Life Association, and Shuttleworth and Ingersoll are having their picnics out there. Here's the 0-2 to Jordan. He went around on a changeup blown. Well, he did, but the base umpire said he didn't, so the Kernels get a break. Jordan chased that pitch low and outside, but according to the base umpire, Anthony West, Jordan did not offer at it. I thought for sure he did. Jordan Renz walked to drive in a run his first time up. Backs away from a pitch inside for a ball. Yes, I'm looking. They were going to wave up to me. Lori, where are they? Okay. All right. Who gave you this message? Do you know? Okay. Well, Lori Pantini has let me know a very old friend of mine is here. She called. Here's a line drive whistled foul into the Dragon bullpen. Lori Pantini, do you have access to a walkie-talkie? If you could let your mother-in-law know that if you or someone could bring this is their real name now because she's married. The 2-2 to Jordan. Strike three called. Jordan Renz called out on strikes to end the Kernel second inning. The Kernels strike for a pair on 3 hits. A two-run homer by Larry Infante, his third of the year. There were no Dayton errors. The Kernels leave there was one Dayton error, one throwing error by the pitcher on a pickoff attempt, one error committed by the Dragons, and the Kernels leave one. They stranded three. As we go to the top of the third inning, Kernels lead Dayton 5-2. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Hey, it's Mariah Carey. So you know that feeling you get when you meet someone new and like you got those butterflies every time when they call? Well, here's a ringtone that I created just for that moment. You can only get it at PepsiSmash.com. Then there's the flip side. The guy you chose to give the heave-ho 2 years ago, but he still keeps calling. Well, here's your signal not to pick up the phone. Nice, huh? There's only one place you can get these, PepsiSmash.com.
Pepsi gives you the chance to get original, exclusive ringtones created by your favorite artists like Mariah Carey. Look under specially marked Pepsi caps and log on to PepsiSmash.com for information. 1 in 3 gets a ringtone. Also enter for a chance to win the newest Motorola cell phones. A winner every 10 minutes. No purchase necessary. Promotion subject to official rules at PepsiSmash.com. Internet access required. You must be 13 or older to play. Promotion ends 8606. Ringtones must be downloaded by 2006. Void where prohibited.
Imagine the convenience of accomplishing your next real estate transaction under one roof. Buying a home, selling a home, or securing the right mortgage loan are simple and worry-free at Todd Financial Services. Todd Financial Services knows that you've worked hard to be able to make the dream of home ownership a reality. Todd Financial Services understands that people do business with people they trust. You can count on Todd Financial Services to put you and your needs first so that your real estate transactions are pleasurable.
Leading off, number 23, shortstop, Adam Rosales.
Welcome back. We're at Veterans Memorial Stadium, and it's 3-5 to Kernels, and pounding the first pitch off his foot is Adam Rosales. Kernels scored 3 in the first. The Dragons countered with 2 in the top of the second, and the Kernels answered with a Brad Kuhn double and a Larry Infante 2-run home run, his third of the year, and lead it 5-2. Adam Rosales had a hit taken away from him on a terrific play deep in the hole by shortstop Heinle Stacia, his first time up. Adam bashes another one foul off his foot. He's all right, though. Adam Rosales wears his Dayton Dragon black socks up high. The Dragons have black socks, black hats, green numbers trimmed in black, and the word Dragons written across their gray road jerseys in green. Rosales fouls another one. This one back. Still 0-2 to Adam Rosales. Remember, the Freedom from Hunger food drive continues. We ask you to bring your non-perishable food items here to the ballpark. Here's a nubber past the mound. Heinle Stacia near the bag at second. Gets it and throws quickly just in time to get Adam Rosales. Rosales made a bid for an infield single as he rolled it off the left side of the hill, and Heinle Stacia had to come in and to his left to pick it and throw out the batter. One gone here in the Dayton third inning. That's right, we're still accepting through Sunday your non-perishable food items in the 4th annual Freedom from Hunger campaign. The Kernels thank you for contributing. It could be canned food, it could be a box of macaroni, it could be cereal. As long as it's not a 50-pound bag of rice, that's the one thing Barb Belsasser told us on the South Slope Communications Triple Play show last night. Ball one just misses low to Jay Bruce, who fouled the first pitch toward the Kernel first base dugout. 5-2 Kernels. We're in the top of the third inning on this beautiful Friday night. The lights have just been turned on here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. For the Kernels this season have won 16 and lost 20. Dayton on the road is 19-17. Ball 2 outside to the left-handed batter. Now Bruce grounds one just foul outside of first. Mark Trumbo left his feet in a headlong dive. And Jay Bruce's bid for a one-out extra base hit was foul by about a foot and a half. Bruce is a 5-tool star, a .308 hitter, 7th in the league in the Midwest League in hitting, 10 homers, 51 RBIs, 3rd in the league, and he leads the league in doubles with 30, and he leads the league in extra base hits with 45. This is all for a first-year or a second-year player, Jay Bruce. Ball 3 outside the left-handed slugger. And now a changeup, and Jay Bruce spoils that good pitch by looping the delivery foul onto the grandstand roof behind the plate. Another payoff pitch to Jay Bruce. It's bounced to second. Larry Infante gets a bad hop, and it goes off his bare hand into right field. That'll be a bad hop single for Jay Bruce. Larry Infante was all set to field it, and then it hit a pebble on the skin dirt portion of the infield. Took a rotten hop. Larry Infante made a great effort as he was all set to field it, and then it hopped to his right unexpectedly. Larry reached up with his bare hand, tried to barehand it. The ball flicked off his hand into right field. Jay Bruce has a bad hop single into right field, and now the batter is B.J. Szymanski. Szymanski singled, advanced to second on a balk, went to third on an infield single, and scored on a balk in the Dayton 2-run second inning. A pitch in the dirt blocked by Brett Martinez to prevent a wild pitch. Halo happenings, results from around the Angel Farm system from last night. Our parent club, the Angels, didn't play. Their record is 35-43. We're 7 games out in the West, in 4th place in the AL West, 4th of 4 teams, and we've got some catching up to do as Oakland leads the AL West. I'm shocked at the season the Angels are having. I never dreamed that heading into July they'd be 8 games under 500. Salt Lake isn't 8 games under 500. They're 48-32. The AAA affiliate of the Angels is having a great year. A borderline pitch by Mosebach just outside. It's 2-0 to the switch-hitting B.J. Szymanski. Howie Kendrick was 2 for 5 in a Salt Lake 10-8 thumping over Colorado Springs last night. Howie had 3 RBIs and hit his 13th home run. Howie Kendrick is tearing the cover off the ball at AAA. He's hitting almost 400. B.J. Szymanski hits a high fly pop into the grass slope seating berm, paralleling the left field line. 2-1 to switch hitter B.J. Szymanski. B.J.'s batting .229. He's hit a dozen home runs. He leads the Dragons in the long ball category, and he's driven in 39. Szymanski is a tall, lean, trim, 6'3" switch hitter out of Princeton. Runner at first, 1 out, a throw to first. We're in the top of the 3rd. The runner gets back standing up, and the Kernels lead the Dragons 5-2. Former Kernel third baseman shortstop Adam Pavlovich was 2 for 3 last night for Salt Lake with a home run and 5 runs driven in. Arkansas, AA Arkansas, did not play. A fastball on the outside corner, strike 2 called to Szymanski, who steps out. Dayton has won 5 straight games. They got out of the chute 0-3, but have won 5 in a row. The Kernels have dropped 2 straight and are 3-5 in the second half. Jay Bruce runs very well. He has a big lead at first. He's not going, and a wild pitch ricochets all the way back towards the plate, and it's ball 3 to Szymanski. Jay Bruce advances to second base on the 6th wild pitch of the season by Moose Mosebach. I think that's a wild pitch. We'll have to wait and see. A full count now to B.J. Szymanski. Yes, they have ruled it a wild pitch. Now the payoff pitch from Moose Mosebach to the Dayton cleanup batter, and that one's fouled over to our left and down below. And the count remains full to B.J. Szymanski. Kernels lead it here in the top of the 3rd by 3, 5-2. Jay Bruce leads away from second. Szymanski swings late and misses on a fastball that was running away from him. Moose Mosebach records a big strikeout, his first of the evening, and there are 2 away here in the Dragon 3rd inning. Rancho Cucamonga's off to a slow start in the second half in the Cal League. They're 1-6. They lost their sixth game in a row. Fernando Rodriguez Jr. gave up 10 hits, 6 runs, and 3 1/3 innings as Inland Empire dumped Rancho Cucamonga 14-5 last night. Sean Rodriguez and Michael Collins, who both played here last year, each had 2 hits for the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. Their record now 33-44. Strike one called to Mike Griffin, who reached on an infield single and scored in the Dragon 2-run second inning. Griffin swings and misses. Strike 2. Mike Griffin, right-handed batter, was the leadoff hitter last night. He doubled in the game's go-ahead run in the 7th inning in the Dragon 4-3 win. It was his only hit in 5 at-bats. Swing and a miss on a change. Now, wait a minute. Swing and a miss on a changeup? Yes. Brett Martinez lost the handle and had to tag out the batter to officially end the Dragon 3rd inning. Moose Mosebach does just what the doctor ordered. He has a shutdown inning. No runs for the Dragons in the top of the 3rd. 1 hit, no Colonel errors, 2 strikeouts, and the Dragons leave a runner. They've left 3. After 2.5 innings on this beautiful Friday evening, iOS Office Supply Cap Night here at the ballpark. Kernels on top of the Dragons, 5-2. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Don't you wonder sometimes how all those companies who claim to be the best can actually be the best? Doesn't just one of them have to be the best? When it comes to motor coach travel, Tri-State Travel is the best. We have the highest safety rating, the largest variety of coaches, a trained driving staff, and 66 years of experience. Don't you want to travel with the best? That would be Tri-State Travel, now at our new location on 7th Street Southwest.
Hi, this is John Rogers, voice of the Kernels. I'd like to share a few words with you about Kernel team physician, orthopedic surgeon Dr. David Terse. My father was a surgeon, and like most sons, I looked up to him as the greatest dad and the best doctor on earth. When I was diagnosed with a torn meniscus in my right knee recently, I wondered if my doctor here in Cedar Rapids would measure up to my dad's standards. My doctor was Dr. David Terse. Dr. Terse's thorough and expert explanation of my x-ray, his calm and reassuring description of the procedure he would be performing, and his kind and confident bedside manner impressed me beyond my expectations. Dr. Terse has those exceptional qualities we all hope to find in our doctor: an established reputation of excellence, the ability to communicate with us so that we understand and trust his words, and that gut feeling that he truly cares about us. Dr. Terse is a world-class surgeon and a first-class person. I've experienced firsthand why the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, the Kernels' parent ball club, has entrusted Dr. Terse to care for our players. Rainer Feliz, a 6'8" right-hander, is on to work the bottom of the 3rd inning against the Kernels. Starter Daniel Guerrero, a tough first start in the Midwest League. Guerrero went 2 innings, gave the Kernels 5 runs on 5 hits, struck out 1, walked 3. And Rainer Feliz's first pitch is ripped into the right center field gap by Mark Trumbo. That's extra bases. Mark Trumbo's drive is up against the right center field wall. Trumbo is at second with a leadoff double. How about Mark Trumbo? It's been a long dry spell for the Colonel Slugger in terms of getting it going in the second half. But Mark Trumbo stepped into the first pitch from reliever Rainer Feliz and hit a high, majestic clout, 1 hop off the University of Iowa sign in deep right center. Mark Trumbo has an RBI tonight, and he's standing at second with a leadoff double, his 12th double of the year. Trumbo at second for Josh Davies. Let's see if Davies might be called upon to bunt. No, he swings and laces the first pitch foul between Bobby Mosby, the big Dayton first baseman, and Colonel hitting coach and first base coach Eric Owens. Strike 1 on Josh Davies, who forced a runner at second and reached on a fielder's choice his first time up. Josh is batting .250 in 5 games with 1 homer, 3 runs driven in. Rainer Feliz, 23 years old, from the Dominican Republic. They list him at 6'5", but I think he's more like 6'8". He's tall. He throws to second and narrowly threw it into center field. Ooh, what a play by shortstop Adam Rosales to prevent Rainer Feliz from heaving that one into center. Mark Trumbo got back standing up. Feliz is on for the fourth time out of the Dayton bullpen, a 3.86 ERA. He's pitched 7 innings and allowed 3 runs on 6 hits. His changeup is a beauty, a strike call to the Colonel right-handed hitter, Josh Davies. 0-2 to Josh. Trumbo at second. Nobody out. The 0-2 from Rainer Feliz. Swing and a miss, a good changeup. Josh Davies is done in on a off-speed pitch. Give Josh credit, though. He was trying to do the right thing. He was trying to hit the ball to the right side of the Dayton infield, but he struck out, and it's going to be up to Brett Martinez or Marco Albano to get a base hit to score Mark Trumbo here in the third inning. 5-2 Kernels. A ground ball up the middle, and getting to it is Rosales, the shortstop, and from behind second, he pegs to first to retire Brett Martinez. Brett Martinez picked on the first pitch and bounced it up the middle, and Rosales went a long way to his left to make the play. On to third, Mark Trumbo. Now we need a 2-out bolt of lightning from Marco Albano. 5-2 Kernels, and we're in the home half of the third inning. We play here Monday at 2 o'clock. A 2 o'clock start Monday. And the Kernels will be wearing 1906 vintage Cedar Rapids Bunny uniforms. Carla Davis, our on-field hostess, is wearing one of them, and I'm telling you, they are striking. They are classic in their look. Black pinstripes, black numbers. Just beautiful, and a bunny on the left-hand chest. And you can bid for those Cedar Rapids Bunny uniforms on Monday afternoon. Tim Boyle will be here, so will Amy Johnson. They're sponsoring the Bunny uniform auction. 1-1 to Marco Albano with a runner at third, Trumbo. Marco slaps to the left side. It takes a charity hop into the glove of the shortstop Rosales, and Adam on to first to retire Marco Albano. The Kernels can't capitalize on a leadoff double into the right center field gap by Mark Trumbo and fail to score here in the third inning. No runs for the Kernels. 1 hit off the new pitcher, Rainer Feliz. There were no Dragon errors. The Kernels strand a runner and have left 4. We're expecting a visit from the mayor of Lisbon, Iowa. Mike Williams should be along at any time. After 3 innings tonight, it's the Kernels leading Dayton 5-2. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Cedar Rapids' oldest wholesale greenhouse is also Cedar Rapids' full-service landscaping and lawn care center. Cedar Rapids Greenhouses has been serving Eastern Iowans for 50 years at the corner of Johnson Avenue and Edgewood Road, behind Guppy's on the Go. Cedar Rapids Greenhouses has a full line of trees and shrubs like magnolias, maples, and lilacs. And for a limited time, buy any potted tree and Cedar Rapids Greenhouses will deliver and plant it free. If you're searching for the right beautification project, let the trained landscape designers at Cedar Rapids Greenhouses help you create a unique plan for your home. From retaining walls to ponds, waterfalls, and fountains, they'll work within your budget and taste, and they do free estimates. Lawn care featuring mowing, fertilization, seeding, sodding, aeration, detaching, maintenance, and cleanup are all done with care and precision. For the highest quality and low prices, see the difference at Cedar Rapids Greenhouses, Eastern Iowa's full-service landscapers at the corner of Johnson Avenue and Edgewood Road.
Hi, I'm Phil Andrews, your local Pekin insurance agent at Andrews Insurance in Cedar Rapids. I'd like to introduce you to an easy-to-understand, affordable life insurance plan with great benefits. It's simplified issue whole life from Pekin Insurance. The plan requires no medical exam, has guaranteed rates for life, and a guaranteed cash value. Life insurance made simple and affordable from Pekin Insurance. To learn more, contact me, Phil Andrews, at Andrews Insurance.
Big Bobby Mosby will lead off in the top of the fourth inning on this gorgeous Friday night. The Kernels lead Dayton 5-2, trying to even the series at a game apiece. Bobby Mosby whistles the first pitch foul straight back. Bobby, a right-handed batter, 6'1", 290, was hit by a pitch on an 0-2 count in the Dragon 2-run second. Moose Mosebach gets ahead, 0-1. The right-hander brings it. And a tap foul to the Dayton on-deck circle. It's our pleasure and really privilege to welcome Lisbon Mayor Mike Williams. Mike, thanks for helping plan this great outing tonight.
Well, I didn't do much planning, but it's certainly great to be here on a beautiful evening watching the Kernels lead.
It sure is, Mike. Swing and a miss by Bobby Mosby. High heat from right-hander Mosebach. Moose has now fanned the last 3 Dayton batters in a row, and that brings up Craig Tatum. Well, Mike Williams, probably everyone in our listening area has visited Lisbon, or at least driven by Lisbon on Highway 30, and I know if they haven't gotten off the main drag there to see what's going on, I know Lisbon, like a lot of small communities in Iowa, is thriving, isn't it?
Yes, it is. We've got lots of building going on and school additions and lots of activities throughout the community.
A grounder to shallow third, and a wonderful play by Josh Davies, who had to charge in hard like a raging bull and reached down and picked that one, and he threw out Craig Tatum, the catcher, 2 away here in the Dayton 4th inning. Mike Williams, it seems that smaller rural communities are very appealing now, and you mentioned there's lots of building going on in Lisbon. Is it a combination of residential and commercial, Mike?
Yes, so we actually have a large commercial area that's right on Highway 30 that's about 11 acres. That's coming along with residential.
Ball 1 is outside, and the neat part about Lisbon is that you're kind of close to both Cedar Rapids and Iowa City, aren't you?
About 15 minutes away from Cedar Rapids, 20 from Iowa City.
A ground ball spanked up the middle is a 2-out single by Brad Key. Key's 2 for 2, playing in his 4th game, and Brad Key is singled up the middle. Well, Lisbon has a rich heritage. You also mentioned that you're growing your school system.
Yeah, exactly. We've done a few things that have never been done in Iowa before. We were the first privately funded addition a few years ago when we got a $2 million bequeath and matched it and put on a large addition. And we've since put on another one since then.
Fantastic, Mike. Somebody bequeathed $2 million and you matched it, your community. A high pop foul off the left by Josh Holden. Now, was that for the grade school or for the high school in Lisbon?
A little of both.
Okay.
The elementary we've just put on an addition for taxation. But Lowell Andreas and the whole ADM family started in Lisbon.
I didn't know that.
So,
Mike, the whole ADM family started in Lisbon?
He originally, his first one was the Lisbon elevator.
I did not know that.
Mm-hmm.
That's marvelous heritage. A foul off to the left by Holden. He's in the hole 0-2. Josh is batting here with 2 out in the Dayton 4th. It's 5-2 Kernels. We're visiting with Lisbon Mayor Mike Williams. The 0-2 to Holden, who's a West Point man, and he pops it foul right behind the plate, and I'm not kidding you, 6 feet behind home plate, just to the right of the dish. It's caught by Brett Martinez. Josh Holden is fouled out to Brett Martinez for the final out here in the Dayton 4th inning. No runs for the Dragons. A 2-out hit, their 5th of the night. There were no Kernel errors, and the Dragons leave 1 aboard. We've just begun our interlude, our on-air visit with Mike Williams, the mayor of Lisbon, and we'll continue with that when the Kernels bat in the bottom of the 4th inning. After 3.5, it's 5-2 Kernels. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
This summer, children of all ages will enhance their imaginations through reading thanks to the Summer Reading Program. Toyota Financial Services, The Gazette, Culver Frozen Picture and Burgers, and Bloomsbury Farm have teamed up with the Cedar Rapids Kernels, encouraging children to read during the summer. For every 250 minutes a child reads, they will receive a reward in the Ben
Quick story. He said he would do $1 million challenge. Actually, they called up and they wanted the alumni crew wanted tables and chairs. He got a nice form letter back saying we don't dink around with anything like that. So they fired him a letter back and
Next
said
up,
we'd like
a
to put
musical taste of Dr. Pepper. It's a new spin on our old vibe from me to you. A tasty sip of Dr. Pepper for your ears.
So they did
it starts like this.
Demographic and everything. I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, you can raise $1,000.
Now that's cool. But
and so Lisbon raised $700,000.
And it takes to this.
Instead of what was predicted. And he just said, doing the other $300,000.
Right on.
So that they put a $2 million tax-free addition on their school.
Nothing like it. Because every sip is a kick and mash up.
Really hilarious story. This is I was there as master of ceremonies when the dedication.
Even more.
He had 2 speeches to give that day. He finished singing, excited. found out he had the wrong speech, so he said, well, it'd have been cheaper if I bought the damn chair. Sat down. That was it.
Mike Williams with us. He's the mayor of Lisbon. Brad Kuhn represents the top of the Kernel order, and Brad, facing right-hander Rainer Feliz for the first time, takes a strike. Kuhn is 2 for 2, and he scored 2 runs. 5-2 Kernels, bottom of the 4th inning on this lovely Friday evening. Here's a bunt by Kuhn. Feliz will barehand it, throw to first, just in time. What a terrific play by the 6'8" thin as a rail right-hander Rainer Feliz. Rainer came in off the mound and barehanded that bunt by Kuhn and fired to first. It went 1-3. That was some play by the Dragon pitcher. Well, Mike Williams was telling us about the remarkable success of the fundraising campaign that allowed the Lisbon Community School District to... Here's a line shot into left by the red-hot Larry Infante. Larry's 3 for 3. Larry Infante is 3 for 3 as he bashed one into left field with 1 out here in the 4th inning, and the Kernels have now out-hit Dayton 7-5. Mike, without being prideful or boastful, I would like you to share the remarkable generosity of not only the president of Archers, Daniel Midland, but some consultants did a study, and they told you that the most that Lisbon would be able to contribute to the private fundraising campaign to match the ADM dollar-for-dollar commitment to schools was $200,000 to $300,000, but Lisbon blew that figure out of the water.
Yeah, they actually raised in excess of $700,000, so ADM President Bull just decided to make up the difference, so he actually donated $1.3 million.
Isn't that amazing? How big a community is Lisbon? Over 2,000?
Lisbon's about 2,000 and growing.
And $700,000 generated in that community for the school. Wow. Heinley Stacia tips a 1-0 pitch foul behind the plate. The 1-1, throw to first, and diving back safely is Larry Infante. In a community that size, Mike, do you have your own community and recreational center, or do you share with Cornell College in Mount Vernon? I'll let you answer that after this 1-1 pitch to Heinley. Here it is. Line shot into right field. That's a base hit. Larry Infante is on his horse, and he gallops to second as Jay Bruce gets it back in. And the Kernels have a hitting barrage going so far in this game. That's our 8th hit of the game, and the Kernels have runners at first and second with only 1 out for Flint Whiskey.
Well, in answer to your question, we do a little of both. Both communities have recreation directors, and they both are new this year. They're both very aggressive, and so we share some things. We do some things individually and work in conjunction with a lot of different areas. We have a very active kids program in both communities, Lisbon and Mount Vernon, in baseball, softball, soccer. We're just, as soon as our T-ball is just ending in Lisbon this week.
Oh.
And next week, I think it starts a 3-week adventure series that's available.
Wow.
That we get area teachers to lead and to sign up.
And a curve is a strike to the Kernel cleanup batter, Flint Whiskey, and now Flint rolls 1 foul behind the dish. It's 0-2 to Flint Whiskey. Larry Infante at second, Heinley Stacia at first. And Flint Whiskey, who has driven in a run with the bases loaded walk and fouled out the third, is in the hole 0-2 as the Kernels try to add to a 5-2 lead here in the bottom of the 4th inning. The 0-2 to Flint. A tap back to the hill, speared by the pitcher who wings it into center field for an error. Infante scores. Stacia to third. He's safe. And the batter, Flint Whiskey, goes to second. A horrible throw by Rainer Feliz trying to start a double play as he reared back and threw it to the left field side of second base into center field. Larry Infante scores. Heinley Stacia goes all the way to third on the throwing error by Rainer Feliz, and Flint Whiskey, the batter, hustled, went all the way to second as the throw by B.J. Szymanski was late to third trying to get Stacia, and it's 6-2 Kernels. Boy, Rainer Feliz, who just made an outstanding play on a bunt by Kuhn to take a hit away from Brad. Just threw a double play ball into center field, and now let's see if Jordan Renz can really make the Dragon right-hander pay. A change-up in the dirt, and it rolls behind the catcher, Craig Tatum, but he pounces on it before Stacia can try to score from third. Second and third for the Kernels, 1 out. Bottom of the fourth, the Kernels lead it by 6-2. Boy, you can count on one hand the number of times this season our ball club has led any game by 4 runs. Let's try to make it a bigger inning with our leading RBI man, Jordan Renz, ahead 1-0. Second and third, 1 out. The pitch. Strike one called at the knees. Well, that's fantastic, Mike Williams, to know that all those opportunities are available to families and children in your community at Lisbon, and that you do have a good relationship with your neighboring town of Mount Vernon.
We've actually just joined in a commercial project together where we're hiring a joint tourism director.
Now that is neat. But that's new then.
That is absolutely new, and they were going to promote Lisbon and Mount Vernon as a destination point. Mount Vernon is a very unique community, and so is Lisbon with a proud heritage. Has some unique, one-of-a-kind things in Lisbon that nobody even knows about, and we're going to try and promote them.
Well, and I want you to pick up on that thought. You've got me very curious now because I was a history major. The 1-2 to Jordan Renz. Line shot into center, a base hit. 1 run is in, Heinle Stacia, and they hold Whiskey at third very wisely. A line drive single by Jordan Renz. He drives in his second run of the night and makes it 7-2 Kernels. Jordan on an 0-2 pitch reached out, stroked it off the end of his bat, and bounced it on one hop to the left of Adam Rosales, the shortstop, into center field. Heinle Stacia scooted home from third to make it a 2-run inning for the Kernels. Whiskey was held at third, and it's 7-2 Kernels here in the bottom of the fourth inning. The Kernels lead it 7-2 on an RBI single up the middle by Kernel leading run producer Jordan Renz. It's first and third, 1 out for Mark Trumbo, who led off the third inning against this tall right-hander, Feliz, with a double. Curve and a swing and a miss by Mark. Well, without stealing the thunder of your new tour or your new convention and visitors director, Mike Williams, what would be a couple of things that would interest people about coming to Lisbon? Let's start with Lisbon.
Well, in Lisbon, one of the things that's probably unknown to most people, and even a lot of the residents is that we've got one of the only 2 Gettysburg stones that have ever been removed from the Gettysburg battlefield.
And that's right up my alley.
And it's on display in our cemetery, and we're getting ready to make more protected. Been there forever, obviously since then.
The 0-2 to Mark. Just missed low. Let me just guess, Mike, that you must have had a Union soldier die on the battlefield at Gettysburg, and his next of kin were able to requisition from Abraham Lincoln the stone.
I can't even actually tell you the actual story, but I know that somebody knew somebody in Congress and was able to get one brought here.
Okay.
And they brought it on the rail.
Wow.
And went through Lisbon and then by horseback and wagon to the cemetery where it's been ever since.
How big do you think, not in terms of tons, but is it big enough that somebody could put their arms around it?
Oh, no.
Oh, it's a boulder.
It's a boulder.
Okay. A tap foul by Mark Trumbo, batting with runners at first and third. 1 out, bottom of the fourth, 7-2 Kernels. And Feliz with the 1-2. It's low, a breaking pitch. Mark Trumbo trying to make it a bigger Kernel fourth inning and give the Kernels a larger lead than their current one of 7-2 over Dayton. I can't wait to hear about the second or third item of interest in Lisbon. I'll say this, Mike, with my family being history buffs, the next time they're in town, I will make the drive out to see that. A tap in front of the plate, and it hits Trumbo. He's out. That ball hit Mark Trumbo, according to the plate umpire. Mark said it didn't hit him, but immediately the plate umpire, Brad Tatum, called Trumbo out. Now, Mike Williams, Bobby Magianis, the Kernel manager, is going to argue that Brad Tatum was in no position to see whether that ball struck Trumbo. Mark is maintaining his innocence, but he's been called out, hasn't he?
Yes.
So Trumbo will have to leave first base. I don't know if Flint Whipke scores on that. Now the plate umpire is going to consult with the base umpire, Brad Purdom, the plate umpire, consulting right next to the pitching mound on the right side of the hill with Anthony West. Mark Trumbo's claiming that ball did not hit him. Mark nubbed it, topped it up the first base side, ran out of the box as you're supposed to do. Whipke, now wait a minute. Trumbo's out and they're sending the runners back. They're calling Trumbo out. Now here comes Billy Gardner Jr., the tall, lean skipper of the Dragons. Now, wait a minute. Is Trumbo out or not? He's still standing on first base. Mark Trumbo is standing on first base, and he's telling Jordan Renz to stay at second base. Al Gruel, could you get in here, please? The Kernel official scorer. What in the world is going on? They called Trumbo out twice, and he hasn't left first base. Flint Whipke hasn't come back from the Kernel dugout. They may allow Flint Whipke to score now. We need Al Gruel in here. Now Renz is leaving second base. Why he's doing that, I don't know, because he could be tagged out. Trumbo's leaving first base, and I hope time has been called. And now, Mike Williams, all we can say that confusion is the order of the day right now.
It certainly is.
Utter confusion. Al Gruel, if you could get in here at your earliest moment and decipher this for, they keep signaling out, but who is out? And now Bobby Matianis wants an explanation. I have no idea what's going to do. Two Kernels are on first base. Mark Trumbo and Jordan Renz. And unless the rules of baseball have changed, you cannot have two runners occupy the same base. That would be a picture for tomorrow morning's Gazette. Two Kernels standing at first base, both thinking they're entitled to that base. Al Gruel will be able to sort this mess out. He's our official scorer. He's unable to leave his booth because he, too, hasn't figured it out. Now, wait a minute. Al Gruel, please put on the headsets. Al, what's going on?
Trumbo has been ruled out on the batter interference, which is a dead ball situation. Runners are going to return to the bases they occupy at the time of the pitch.
Okay, now who is the put-out given to?
Well,
the catcher?
It's usually given to the player that's closest to the play, which would be the catcher.
Okay, now, Al, so I was wrong. Trumbo did not get struck by the baseball, his own ball.
Yes.
He did.
Yeah. What I saw was he was struck by the ball.
Yeah. That's different from interference, isn't it?
It's batter interference. You can't get hit by a batted ball outside the batter's box.
Right, I knew that, but then that's called interference?
Yes,
okay.
It's called batter interference.
Al Gruel, thank you.
Yep, no problem, John.
Thank you very much to Al Gruel. It's first and third, two out after that lengthy delay, and Josh Davies takes inside. Well, Mike Williams, let's get back to the fun of Lisbon. In addition to the historic stone boulder from the Gettysburg battlefield in your cemetery, after this next pitch, I'd like to know another neat thing about your community is a fellow that loves local history. The 1-0 to Josh Davies is dribbled foul behind the plate.
Well, one of the other things is we happen to have 4 pristine mountain cannons able to fire, actually, from the Civil War. And they got stolen once and gotten back, so everybody's been afraid to show them. So now they are currently on display in our History Center in Lisbon.
Wow. The 1-1. The runner from first goes and drilling the 1-1 pitch foul down the right field line onto the Papa John's Plaza for strike 2, Josh Davies. 7-2 Kernels, 2 out, runners at the corners, bottom of the 4th inning. Mike Williams, when you say mountain cannons, does that mean they were used literally in fortified bunkers?
They were actually used on wagon types, so they're smaller, so they could carry them over the mountains.
Oh, I see. That makes sense.
Probably about 36 inches to 40 inches long.
Okay. Boy, Josh Davies just fought off a terrific pitch from Rainer Feliz, who came right in on the thumbs. Davies just flicked his hands to protect the plate, and it rolled just foul. The pitch rolled just foul. The batted ball foul past first. Jordan Renz was running on the play. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the batter, Josh Davies, who is 0 for 2 tonight. The tall Dayton right-hander comes set. There goes Renz, and a high pop foul by Josh Davies, chased into the corner by Jay Bruce, right field, but it's beyond his reach. Mike Williams is the mayor of Lisbon, and Mike, let's go for the trifecta. What would be one final, without spoiling the job of your newly hired Convention and Visitors Bureau director? What would be a third fun thing or historic reason to come to Lisbon?
Well, let's just include Mount Vernon also. We will. They've got lots of nice shops, and of course, Cornell College campus is beautiful to walk on.
Oh.
And we are trying to include this area as a destination area for people, and of course shopping for small families, etc. They kind of step back in time a bit.
Yes.
To an easier bygone day.
Slower pace.
Slower pace where you get involved in city government and schools, and there's no police problems, etc.
Yes.
And the real reason that we're here tonight is to honor our kids that are in Mount Vernon, Lisbon playground thing, and that's been set up. That's been set up by a group of people that I'd like to mention.
Oh, great!
Before I leave.
Oh no! By all means, Jim or Mike, we'll wait. We'll have plenty of time. I'm glad you brought that to our attention. Davies swings and misses at a pitch in the dirt, and that finally ends the Colonel fourth inning. But the Colonels strike for 2 runs on 3 hits. There were no dragon error, or there was one dragon error, a big dragon error by the pitcher, Feliz, and the Colonels leave a pair and have stranded 6. Well, Mike Williams, we're going to keep it right here. First of all, let me ask you if you know the fellow that sang the national anthem, Jim Beatty.
Actually, I don't, but he's one of the coaches of the Mount Vernon team, and he did an excellent job. This all kind of came pretty quickly to me.
Sure.
So wasn't aware of it until last night, but I'm certainly glad that I was included in it, and I was glad that I could get the pitch over the plate.
Oh, you dropped the first pitch.
Yeah.
Great, Mike. Well,
I don't think I hurt the catcher's hand.
That's all right, but you got her over.
That's right.
Well, Mike, go right ahead. I'd love to hear.
Basically, this is a Mount Vernon Lisbon community night with the Kernels, and it was headed up by a group of people, one of them being Lori Winder, who works at the Mount Vernon Bank and Trust. And it was sponsored in part by the Lisbon and Mount Vernon Lions Clubs, the Lisbon Mount Vernon Optimist Club, the Mount Vernon Area Chamber, Mount Vernon and Lisbon Community Clubs, Mount Vernon Lisbon Parks and Rec, and the Rotary Club.
Oh, what a combination.
So kids are awful important in our area, and as our schools. So this is a big thing. Lisbon has about 5 or 6 diamonds that throughout the summer, spring, summer, and fall, somebody's on them.
That's wonderful
non-stop,
to know. Yes.
And including 3 that are lit. So
3 are lit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Mike, I pulled off of Highway 30 coming home from Clinton after a ball game about a month ago at a Casey's General Store, and I looked over my shoulder, and there was a diamond there.
The diamond nearest the Highway 30, there's actually 2 there.
Yes.
The diamond nearest Highway 30 is the high school baseball diamond.
Okay.
And that's going to have sunken dugouts put in it this fall if it all works out.
Wow, Mike, that'll make the kids feel like they're playing right here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Here's a bunt to the left side by Mike DeJesus, and the throw off the glove of Mark Trumbo by Josh Davies, and it's a leadoff bunt single by Mike DeJesus to open up the Dayton 5th inning with the Kernels leading it 7-2. Mike DeJesus with a bunt single, even had the throw been on target from Josh Davies to Mark Trumbo, that would have, I don't think the Kernels would have had DeJesus, and he's aboard with the 6th Kernel hit for the Dragons. 7-2 Kernels, top of the 5th inning. Mike Williams has just recognized a great group of business leaders and charitable organizations, service groups, all combining to bring a community spirit to Mount Vernon, Lisbon. Mike, that's another thread I think we should magnify here, is that it sounds like Mount Vernon and Lisbon get along very well.
Well, I think we do. We realize the economics of it, etc. There's total pride in each community, so there's a lot of friendly rivalry. But push comes to shove, we work together very well, and particularly in areas where there's a unified goal.
Well, that's just it. A throw to first, and I'm telling you, Moose Mosebach just about picked off Mike DeJesus, the left-handed hitting leadoff batter who has started this inning with a bunt single. 7-2 Kernels. And the batter for the Dragons is Adam Rosales, their shortstop, and he slugs one hard into center. On the run, Kuhn makes the catch. Adam Rosales absolutely crushed the first pitch from Moose Mosebach and drilled it into left center. Brad Kuhn ate up the ground, racing a bit to his right. He didn't have much time to run because the ball was just pulverized by Rosales, but caught by Kuhn. Man, oh man, Mike Williams, do you agree with me that that might have been the hardest ball hit tonight?
It certainly was. It was a great play.
Wow. Jay Bruce, 19-year-old Red first-round draft pick out of Beaumont, Texas, steps into the first pitch, and he lofts it high and deep to left onto the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion, and the Dragons are right back in the game. That's the 11th home run of the year for Jay Bruce. Bruce drove in a run in the Dragon win last night, and he slugs his 11th of the year as he lofted it onto the Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion down the left field line over the 16-foot high wall, and that cuts the Kernel lead to 3 runs. It's now a 7-4 Kernel lead here in the 5th inning. Mike Williams, I would imagine being mayor of Lisbon is very, very rewarding for you. Is it a full-time position?
Oh, absolutely not. It's all done nights and weekends, and there's a console. We have a full-time city administrator, a couple of help there, but it's a money-losing proposition, but it's nice to get some things accomplished.
Well, sure it is. Here's a high fly ball down the right field line, and it's chased by Albano. Marco dives and comes up short. Racing to second with a double is B.J. Szymanski. Well, the Kernels better get somebody up in their bullpen because the Dragons are on the comeback march. That's their 8th hit of the game. B.J. Szymanski didn't hit it well. He took a pitching wedge out of his golf bag, if you can imagine that analogy, and lofted one high down the right field line. Terrific hustling effort by Marco Albano, making his first start in right field this season. Marco dove and came within a whisker of catching it, but it's Szymanski with his second hit of the night. He's at second with 1 out. And let's see if the Kernels do get somebody up in their bullpen, as it looks like Moose Mosebach may be running out of steam here in this top of the 5th inning, trying to protect the Kernel 7-4 lead. Mike Griffin singled and scored in the second, struck out his last time up. Right-handed batter Mike Griffin at the plate. And he breaks his bat and grounds it to third, charged by Davies. Josh looks the runner back to second and throws out the batter. Boy, did Josh Davies handle that one beautifully, just like you're supposed to. He fielded it first, looked the runner back to second, and then made an accurate throw to first to get Mike Griffin, who broke his bat, for the second out here in the Dayton 5th inning. Well, Mike Williams, with that the case, nights, weekends, does your wife and family, are they behind you in giving so much of your time to Lisbon? 50-50.
No, I don't have a wife.
Okay. That's probably one of the reasons you like.
Actually, that probably is.
It's same with me, Mike. In baseball, I'm a member of eHarmony, and I practically have to shut down my membership during the summer. I don't have time to check my eHarmony correspondence because of the nature of this business. So, in a moment, I'd like you to tell us what you do in addition to being mayor of Lisbon. The 0-1 pitch to Bobby Mosby in the dirt for a ball. Mike, what do you do in addition to being the mayor of Lisbon?
Well, I work full-time at Ogden Adams Window and Door Center.
Here in town?
In town.
Oh, sure.
And then I'm a member of the Cedar Rapids Corvette Club. I'm in my second childhood.
Oh, great. Do you own a Corvette?
Yeah, I've got an old Corvette, and we have a lot of good things that they do there. They do a lot of charity work, etc., and we still have a lot of fun.
Well, that's great. How many members in the Cedar Rapids Corvette Club?
There's almost 200.
That's way bigger than I imagined. Here's a swing and a foul over the backstop by Bobby Mosby. It's 1-2 as Moose Mosebach comes set with the 1-2 delivery. High, ball 2. A Corvette, I would guess, Mike Williams. Well, what year is yours? From the early 60s?
No, mine's an 85.
Okay. Is it considered a collector's item at this point?
At 20 years,
yes.
They become collector's items.
The 2-2 to Bobby. Swing and a miss on a changeup low and outside. strikeout number 4 for Robert Moose Mosebach, who gives up 2 runs in the 5th inning on 3 hits. There were no Kernel errors, and the Dragons lead 1. They've stranded 5. Mike Williams, we would love for you, if you'd like, to stay one more half inning, yet at the same time, I know you said this night is important for the entire community. What's your gut feel? Could you stay one more half inning? Great, thank you. After 4.5, Kernels lead Dayton 7-4. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Our members are owners who make a good team. Service second to none. South Slope Cooperative Communication.
Get ready for summer and beat high gas prices with a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Keel Honda. Their inventory is jam-packed with fuel-efficient vehicles designed to save you money. Get an economical sedan for your daily commute, or indulge your sporty side with a high-performance coupe. Randy Keel Honda carries a large selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles, backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty and 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Need to haul the entire family? For a limited time, you can get special financing on Honda certified pre-owned Odyssey. Whatever your driving needs, Randy Keel Honda has the vehicle for you. Visit Randy Keel Honda on Centerpoint Road Northeast or online at randykeel.com. Randy Keel Honda, where they treat you right.
We're with Mike Williams, the mayor of Lisbon. He's also in the Cedar Rapids Corvette Club, and he is full-time at Ogden and Adams Lumber, and I didn't realize until you told me, Mike Williams, that Ogden and Adams has been in our community since 1913.
Yeah, that's correct. They've been in the same location.
Wow, that's something.
It was a different town even when they first started.
Oh, that far out first there. That now
they've got some pictures of Mud Road there on First Avenue.
That's amazing. Ball 1 is inside to Brett Martinez, leading off against Rainer Feliz here in the home half of the 5th. 7-4 Kernels. We've out-hit Dayton 9-8. Ball 2 is upstairs to the Kernel number 8 hitter, batting .229, 2 homers, 23 RBIs. Right-handed hitting catcher Brett Martinez. Mike, how often with your busy schedule as mayor of Lisbon and being in the Corvette Club and also full-time at Ogden and Adams, how often are you able to get out to the ballpark?
Well, just a couple of times a year, but I listen a lot because I do enjoy it.
Good. Who's your favorite big league team?
Well, I'm a masochist. I like the Cubs.
That's all right. Ball 4 to Martinez. Hey, you know what? I was just our Springhouse trivia question coming up in the next half inning will be about the Cubs and White Sox since they play this afternoon at Wrigley, and there are a lot of great Cub fans here in eastern Iowa. In fact, Mike, it's ironic you mention that because we have the longest running affiliation with any big league team in the Midwest League with the Angels, but sometime in our lifetimes, perhaps we'll have that coveted Cub affiliation, and there are some people, and only time would tell, some people think here's a chopper to short, could be a double play. Rosales throws it second, out, no other play for Mike DeJesus. Brett Martinez is forced on a weak grounder to shallow short. Adam Rosales charged it and then had to throw back behind his body to get Martinez 6-4. Marco Albano reaches on the fielder's choice, 1 on 1 out here in the 5th inning. Some say that our attendance would have a 10 to 15% spike if we were a Cub affiliate. No way to know that until perhaps someday we are.
Yeah, I don't think you can tell that. This is just great family entertainment.
Yes.
And
that's how we market it, quite frankly, Mike.
Absolutely. The people, I was just thinking, I'm a race car nut, too. I used to race 100 years ago, and I was thinking that the race promoters should come here and just watch to see how it's actually done.
Well, that's the highest compliment you could give us, Mike. Thank you.
There's activity going on all the time.
Well, we sure try to do that, and I know before the tragic passing of Jim Amstutz that Hawkeye Downs was really heading in a great direction, and they still are with Paul Draper, a good friend of the Kernels. But I know what you mean. The more memorable and fun you can make it, the better the experience.
Absolutely.
Brad Kuhn, who's 2 for 3 tonight, swings at a 1-0 pitch, a changeup, and didn't get it. Kuhn singled and scored in the Kernel 3-run first inning. Then he doubled ahead of Larry Infante's 2-run home run in the second inning. It's 7-4 Kernels, and we're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Mike Williams, the mayor of Lisbon, has been kind enough to share some of his middle of the ball game with us here on 1450 KMRY. The 1-1 to Brad. Tips low for ball 2. Boy, Mike, you do stay busy. When you say you used to race, did you race dirt or out at Hawkeye Downs?
I actually raced Hawkeye Downs when it was dirt in the late 80s, late 70s and early 80s.
I never knew it was dirt.
Yeah. Keith Fleck, though, was the one that primarily instigated the change to asphalt.
Well, that's neat. A tap to the right of the mound with Albano running. Marco's at second as Brad Kuhn is thrown out by the pitcher, Rainer Feliz, for the second out here in the 5th inning. Albano was running, and as a result, he's at second on the 1-3 put out of Brad Kuhn. Here's the red-hot Larry Infante. Larry's 3 for 3 and has scored 3 of the Kernels' 7 runs. Larry Infante, the batter for the Kernels. Out of Venezuela, he does not wear batting gloves. And a swing and a miss on a changeup. Well, Mike Williams, on behalf of the Kernels, I'd like you to give our best to everyone in Lisbon, Mount Vernon, and tell them that we really treasure their visit here each summer. It's really grown in its popularity, and I know that it's something that we really appreciate.
Well, we do too, and I know this is a special night for the kids.
Yes, it is. They won't forget that pregame parade or being Cost Cutters Dream Team members, and it'll be, they all got a hat too, didn't they?
That's right. I even got a hat.
Well, that's.
I think the concessionaires are doing pretty well.
Well, that's good news too.
Looks like a lot of ice cream and hot dogs out there.
We like to hear that. A pickoff attempt at second. Marco Albano gets back as the throw by Feliz got by shortstop Adam Rosales into center, but Albano was unable to advance. It's a 1-1 to Larry Infante here in the bottom of the 5th inning. 7-4 Kernels. Runner at second, 2 away. The 0-1. Ground ball. Base hit into right. Base hit into right. Racing around third is Marco Albano. Throw home from Bruce. Not in time. Cut off. Throw to second. Larry save. Larry Infante with a 2-out RBI single into right. His 4th hit in a row. And it gives the Kernels an 8-4 lead here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Well, Mike Williams, Lisbon mayor, I had to wait because the second baseman, Mike DeJesus, covered a lot of ground to his left, dove headlong, but that ball eked through off the bat of Larry Infante, his 4th straight hit. Larry's 4th straight hit drives home Marco Albano. Infante took second on the throw home, and the Dragons are going to is this a new pitcher? I think it is. Yes, it is. The Dayton Dragons are making a pitching change, and they have brought in a right-hander, and I think it's Jose Rojas, but let me...
26. Jose Rojas.
Yes, Jose Rojas is on the hill now for Dayton, as the Kernels have sent Rainer Feliz to the showers and lead it 8-4. Mike Williams is our guest, and he's the mayor of Lisbon, Iowa. Mike, is wrestling still big in Lisbon?
Yeah, it really is, but it's hit kind of a slump for Lisbon. I mean, it's pretty tough to maintain that caliber for as long as we did.
Sure.
But and other sports have come up, which also affects that. But there's a strong percentage, and now we're seeing a lot of the kids of former champions being in junior high and high school. So there's a very strong mat pack, they call it,
wow.
representative of that. that the kids will go to a lot of meets all winter, just as little elementary. I've got a couple of grandsons that go 25 or 30 times in the wintertime.
Mike, that's great news. The Matt Pack. There's a strike call to Hindley Statia. We're in the bottom of the fifth inning, and the Kernels are ahead by 4, 8-4. Larry Infantes at second base with his fourth hit of the game. And the next pitch from right-hander Jose Rojas is outside. Ball 1 to Hindley Statia. I know a fella in Lisbon. I think his son wrestles. A change-up, a swing and a miss by Hindley. Scott Morningstar.
You bet. Scott's sons now wrestle at Iowa, University of Iowa.
Are you kidding? They're that good?
Yeah, Scott was a 4-time state champion, and his son was a 3-time, I believe. And he, as a freshman, he got injured down there, so he really redshirted the whole freshman season. But he's looking to be on the starting lineup this fall for the University of Iowa.
Wow, I did not know that.
We actually have 2 Lisbon boys on the Iowa wrestling team right now.
Well, let's name the other. Is
Ryan Fuller.
Ryan Fuller. Okay, I don't get to follow wrestling like a guy like Phil Hattie does or Vince Mayer, but it's good to know that, boy, per capita, you probably have the most Division I wrestlers in the country.
Well, we have Ryan's a heavyweight, and the other heavyweight for the University of Iowa comes from Lincoln, North Cedar, the Mechanicsville, Stanwood area. So.
And what's his name, Mike? That's all right.
Matt Fields.
Oh, well, there you go. Boy, you really keep on top of things. Ball 4 high to Hindley Statia, who reaches for the 4th time in a row. Flint Whipke could really go a long way into making this game comfortable for the Kernels, who lead it 8-4 here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Lisbon Mayor Mike Williams is with us. And, boy, Mike sure has his finger on the pulse of a lot of things going on in our community, not just in Lisbon. Strike 1 called to Flint Whipke. Well, why didn't I ask this, Mike? Is Lisbon named after a person?
Actually, I'm probably the world's worst person for that.
That's all right.
It was originally founded as Yankee Grove.
Really?
Yeah.
It was called Yankee Grove, Iowa.
And it was founded just about a half a mile east of where it actually is.
I had no idea that.
And I'm sure the people on the history are going to shudder when I don't know why it's called Lisbon.
Well, no, that's all right. The fact that you knew it was called Yankee Grove is more impressive to me than knowing the etymology of the town's name. Swing and a miss by Flint Whipke. That ends the Colonel 5th inning. But the Colonels strike for 1 run on 1 hit. There were no Dragon errors, and the Colonels leave 1 man on and have stranded 7. Well, Mike Williams of Lisbon, you enjoy the rest of this evening with your colleagues and friends from Lisbon, Mount Vernon. Thank you so much. This was one of the most fun guests I've had the entire summer.
Well,
I mean that
thank you very much. I've really enjoyed it, and it's been very impressive out here tonight to watch the quality of play and professionalism. So in a straight setting. Thank you.
Mike, thank you so much. Mike Williams, our guest, the mayor of Lisbon, and we really appreciate his gratitude. As we go to the top of the 6th inning, our Springhouse trivia question just around the corner. Kernels 8, Dragons 4. This is Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Whether you're a serious athlete or a weekend warrior, injuries can take you out of your game. Smart athletes know that Physiotherapy Associates in Cedar Rapids are the experts in the treatment and prevention of sport-related injuries. Our expert staff serves the metro and surrounding area high school athletes. Physiotherapy Associates of Cedar Rapids, the smart choice in sports medicine. Call us at 398-1569. That's 398-1569. We'll get you back in your game today.
Training and the highest quality craftsmanship in the world are 2 hallmarks of union workers. Prospective construction clients can depend on workers who have learned their craft and mastered their skills through the Cedar Rapids Iowa City Building Trades and Construction Council World-Class Apprenticeship Program. These experienced tradesmen will work with subcontractors to bring flexibility, efficiency, safety, and the highest skill and quality in the world to all building and construction projects. Eastern Iowa works best when we say union, yes.
Technology pervades
every aspect of our daily lives. This remarkable age we live in has a machine or a computer to meet almost all of our needs. But you won't find a technological device that can provide you with the personal attention for something as important as insurance. Neighbor Insurance Services, your professional Pekin insurance agency in Hiawatha, is trained on all insurance matters, including how much coverage is enough coverage. For personal attention to all of your insurance needs, see the insurance professionals at Neighbor Insurance Services in Hiawatha.
Moose Mosebach's first pitch to Dayton's Craig Tatum is swatted foul to the left of the plate. We're underway in the top of the sixth inning. 8-4 Kernels, the final line on Dragon right-hander Rainer Feliz, the relief pitcher, 2 2/3. He gave the Kernels 3 runs, 2 earned on 5 hits, struck out 2, walked 2. Swing and a miss by Tatum. Strike 3. Craig Tatum is gone, and Moose Mosebach has struck out 5 Dayton hitters tonight. Moose is trying for his 5th win of the year, and he's retired Craig Tatum on strikes to open up this Dragon 6th inning. It's your chance to earn a $5 gift certificate from the Springhouse. Our Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question. If you've been one of our previous 36 winners, congratulations. Please play along wherever you're tuned in, but don't call in tonight if you've already won that $5 gift certificate from the Springhouse. A strike call, right-handed hitting Brad Key, and now Key grounds the next pitch foul past third, strike 2. The Springhouse serves breakfast anytime. Coffee's only 85 cents at the Springhouse. Isn't that a bargain? 85-cent coffee. Here's a line shot over the head of the left fielder, Flint. Oh, wait a minute. Flint reached up and caught it. What a fabulous catch in left. Brad Key's bid for an extra base hit was denied on a tremendous catch. Flint Whipke really shining in left field. He struggled earlier this year playing the outfield, but he's played well last night and tonight, and he took an extra base hit away on a line shot off the bat of Brad Key. 2 out here in the Dayton 6th inning. 85-cent coffee at the Springhouse, and they serve breakfast anytime. Ball 1 down and in to left-handed hitting Josh Holden. Our Springhouse trivia question, and please wait until the end of this Dayton 6th inning to call us. In 1992, both the White Sox and Cubs had a 20-game winner. Name each of them. Here's a high pop-up to shortstop. Heinle Stacia drifting back a few steps onto the grass and left, and he squeezes it to end the inning. Josh Holden has popped out to shallow left where Heinle Stacia gloved it, and a quick 1-2-3 inning for Colonel right-hander Robert Moose Mosebach. Down in order go the Dragons in the top of the 6th inning. Our Springhouse trivia question. In 1992, both the White Sox and Cubs had a 20-game winner. Name each of them. In 1992, both the White Sox and Cubs had a 20-game winner. Name each of them. Your chance to earn a $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse now by calling 896-7589. 896-7589. 896-7589. In 1992, both the White Sox and Cubs had a 20-game winner. Name each of them. And you can call now at 896-7589, 896-7589. After 5.5 at Veterans Memorial Stadium, Kernels 8, Dayton 4. You're tuned to Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
In today's work world, knowledge is power. Training for modern job skills is opportunity and security. And you have one of the best choices for your future right here in Eastern Iowa. It's Kirkwood. Kirkwood Community College offers over 100 degree programs to give you new job opportunities or a smart start on your college path. Find out more today. Call Kirkwood Admissions, 398-5517. Kirkwood. Start here. Go anywhere.
Hi, I'm Papa John, and when I say better ingredients, better pizza, I'm not talking about a little better. I'm talking about a lot better. Let's talk about our pizza sauce. It's made from fresh, fine, ripened tomatoes, not from concentrate. And when it comes to ingredients, we select from the world's best. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John. A lot better.
Call your neighborhood Papa John's today and ask for the Home Run Special, a large, thin, or original crust pizza with up to 3 toppings for $10.99. Just $10.99.
Great teams consist of diverse talents. Rockwell Collins understands this and is committed to developing diversity in our community. We recognize that our leadership in the aviation and communications electronics industry hinges on attracting and retaining a diverse workforce. And we're working with other Iowa companies to create an environment that nurtures diversity. Rockwell Collins. Different thinking makes us great. Great thinking makes us different.
Jose Rojas, a right-hander, first pitch to Jordan Renz, and Jordan strokes it foul over the backstop, strike one. Top of the hour here in the bottom of the sixth inning, 8-4 Kernels, and you're listening to Kernel Baseball on You're listening to Kernel Baseball on 1450 KMRY, Cedar Rapids. Strike two called at the knees to Jordan. Renz has 2 RBIs tonight. He now leads the Kernels with 46. Jordan drew a bases-loaded walk back in the first, struck out in the second, and singled home a run in the Kernel 2-run fourth inning. Jordan Renz peppers one hard down the left field line into the corner. Josh Holden will retrieve it on the warning track. Throw to second, not in time. Jordan Renz has the 11th Kernel hit of the night. It's Jordan's 16th double of the season. Jordan Renz leads off the Kernel's 6th inning with a line drive double down the left field line. It hopped up onto the white and blue Randy Keel Confidence Picnic Pavilion padded wall for a leadoff double. We'll be taking your calls at the end of this Kernel 6th inning for your chance to earn a $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse. Our Springhouse trivia question: in 1992, both the White Sox and Cubs had a 20-game winner. Name each of them. You'll be calling 896-7589, 896-7589 at the end of this inning. Swing and a miss by Mark Trumbo. Ordinarily, Kernel Broadcast Assistant Luvita Hill is here to help field your calls, but Luvita's on a mission tonight. She's down below with Kernel Assistant Sonia Massey. Now, wait a minute. Luvita Hill is now here so we can take your calls. Uncanny timing by Kernel Broadcast Assistant Luvita Hill. Here's a high fly ball into shallow left. Coming on to make the play for the Dragons, Josh Holden. Mark Trumbo flies to left. One out here in the Kernel 6th inning. And we have a caller for that $5 gift certificate to the Springhouse. We'll see if we have a correct answer. We may. Let's see if Josh Davies can drive home Jordan Renz, who's at second now with one out. Swing and a miss as Jose Rojas fooled Josh Davies with a changeup in on the 20-year-old Australian's hands. Nelson Mendoza, my good friend, I've gotten your messages. I'm just sorry I have not had that second to pick up the phone yet, Nelson. I will. Nelson Mendoza tunes into all the Kernel games down in Miami, and Nelson's been very patient calling. And Nelson Mendoza, I have gotten your messages. I just literally haven't had time to hardly do the life essentials. So, Nelson, I'll be getting back to you. Kernel Broadcast Assistant Luvita Hill, if you could join us for a moment. This may be an unexpected good news. We have never sold out of the AirTran Quad City International Airport tennis balls by the 6th inning. Have we tonight?
Yes, we have.
Sonia Massey, you and Luvita should be teaching Dale Carnegie sales courses. Wow. Swing and a miss by Davies. Strike three. Sonia, that's an all-time record for swiftness. You've sold out every time, yourself and Luvita, with help from Carrie Broussard. But I saw you guys all over this ballpark, and that is remarkable that in less than 2 hours you sold 180-something tennis balls for our AirTran Quad City International Airport launch ball. Ball one in the dirt to Brett Martinez. We also have a contestant to congratulate in our Springhouse trivia question. We'll get to that in just a moment. Sonia is writing a note about a good friend of mine who has season tickets here, Al Ruffalo, and I can't wait to hear what Al's reaction was when he saw Sonia and Luvita peddling those tennis balls so successfully. 8-4 Kernels, Renz at second, 2 out, and Brett Martinez is ahead 2-0. Wow. Sonia, that's great. Inspirational words from the owner of Ruffalo Cody, a longtime Kernel backer. Al Ruffalo saw Sonia Massey, who worked at Ruffalo Cody, for several years throughout high school and college. Al Ruffalo, the president and founder of Ruffalo Cody, is here, and he said, quote, to Sonia was selling her heart out. He was very happy. Sonia, make sure that you get a cold water, or if you guys need a cold soda out of the machine, please treat yourself now. You're both really sweating. Well, that's good, Luvita. It's hot out. But I feel for you because I know it's not easy to sell those tennis balls in less than 2 hours. Here's a high, lazy fly ball off the bat of Brett Martinez into right center, and it's caught by B.J. Szymanski to end the inning. Well, the Kernels, for the second time tonight, do not capitalize on a leadoff double. They didn't by Mark Trumbo in the third, couldn't cash in on Jordan Wren's leadoff double here in the sixth inning as Martinez flies to center to end it. No runs for the Kernels in the sixth, one hit. The Kernels have a hit in every inning so far. There were no Dayton errors. The Kernels leave a runner, have left 8. We're going to keep it right here. Colonel Broadcast Assistant Luvita Hill, please repeat our Springhouse Family Restaurant baseball trivia question. Give the answer and congratulate the winner.
In 1992, both the White Sox and Cubs had a 20-game winner. Name each of them. The answer? For the White Sox, Jack McDowell. For the Cubs, Greg Maddox. Congratulations to Tim Vincent from Coralville, Iowa.
Luvita, did Tim happen to mention whether he's listening on the internet on Kernels.com or whether he's tuned in on 1450 KMRY?
No, he didn't mention that.
If he's in Coralville, it could be either.
It very well could be. We do pick up some stations down there.
That's right. Dale Broad has stopped in for a moment. Dale, come on in, and I know it's something worthy and important. Well, Dale, come on. Oh, okay. It's always good to see Dale, especially during a game. It usually means good news about something. Again, the good news, Luvita Hill, goes out to Coralville's Tim Benson.
That's right. Congratulations on your correct answer of Jack McDowell for the White Sox and Greg Maddox for the Cubs.
Luvita, in 1992, Blackjack McDowell won how many games? What was his record for the 92 White Sox?
He was 20-10.
And what was Greg Maddox the year before he signed with the Braves as a free agent in 92 for the Cubs?
20-11.
Wow. And Tim Benson knew that.
Yes, he did.
That's amazing. Before we start the top of the seventh inning, Colonel Broadcast Assistant Luvita Hill, I have not gotten to the great promotion here on Tuesday, a 5 o'clock start. And what does it entail?
On Tuesday, July 4th, the first 1,000 kids 12 and under to come into the ballpark will receive a free regulation-sized baseball bat courtesy of McDonald's. That's right, kids. Get here early and you'll receive a baseball bat courtesy of McDonald's. Kids 12 and under.
On the 4th of July.
That's right. The game's at 5 and gates open at 4.
And the reason the game's at 5 is so that you can stay here in the ballpark as Moose Mosebach delivers a strike call to leadoff batter Mike DeJesus. We'd like you to have a comfortable, safe place to watch the Freedom Festival fireworks from, and you can do it after the game on the 4th of July. McDonald's bat day. Ground ball hit hard to second. Looking into the glove, Larry Infante, who whips his throw to first. And that is now 6 straight set down by 21-year-old Colonel right-hander Moose Mosebach. There's one out here in the 7th inning. The Colonels have Tim DeJurgis and Brad Beck warming up down the right field line. DeJurgis and Beck, 8-4 Kernels. Well, Luvita Hill, it seems like another fun-loving crowd here tonight, just like last night.
It is, and we have some wonderful people in the suites also. We sold balls in the suites.
That's a first. Who thought of that marketing tool or that marketing strategy?
Sonia led it. We sat here and we thought. Sonia was like, hey, let's sell in the suites. We've never done it before.
And plus, they have the fun of launching the balls. That's the name of the promotion, launching the tennis balls from the suites over the backstop onto the field.
That's right. We sold over half the balls.
In the suites?
Yes.
I hope some of the suite holders are listening to the ball game. Thank you, suite holders, for being such willing customers. Here's a ground ball to third. Josh Davies has to back up a step to Spirit, and he throws just in time. Adam Rosales hustling down the first base line was nipped by Josh Davies' peg, and that is now 7 in a row. Retired by right-hander Moose Mosebach. This may be Moose's last inning of work, and he's retired 7 straight Dayton hitters. 8-4 Kernels. We're in the top of the 7th inning. The Kernels have out-hit the Dragons 11-8. Swinging a foul straight back by A real fine prospect, 19-year-old left-handed hitting Jay Bruce, who doubled home 2 runs his last time up. Swing and a miss on a good changeup from Mosebach. Well, congratulations to Tim Benton of Coralville. Swing and a miss on a changeup. Moose Mosebach finishes, if indeed he's done after 7 innings of sterling work. Moose finishes with a flurry as he's retired 8 straight Dragon hitters. 1-2-3, nothing across for Dayton in the top of the 7th inning. This fun-loving crowd on their feet thanks to Lindale Dental Care. Lindale Dental Care sponsors the singing of Take Me Out to the Ball Game during the great baseball tradition of the 7th inning stretch. Let's listen in for just a moment. The 7th inning stretch brought to you by Lindale Dental Care. We go to the lower half of the 7th. Kernels lead the Dragons 8-4. You're tuned to Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Phil Andrews, your local insurance agent at Andrews Insurance here in Cedar Rapids. Even though we all do our best to stay healthy, we can never anticipate when an illness or accident might strike. Couple that reality with rising medical costs, and the importance of a top-notch medical plan becomes clear. Beacon Insurance offers a wide choice of deductibles and a non-tobacco user discount. To explore the major medical insurance plan that best fits you, visit me, Phil Andrews, at Andrews Insurance.
Hi, this is Dave Town with Five Seasons Transportation and Parking. Do you ever wonder if it's safe to send your child on the bus? It is, and here's a few reasons why. All the buses in Cedar Rapids are equipped with security cameras, so the drivers always know what's happening behind them. The buses also have global positioning systems, or GPS, which means they can be tracked at any time by satellite. Does that surprise you? It shouldn't. Five Seasons Transportation takes safety very seriously, and we've taken many steps to make sure your child will have a safe, easy ride every time they take the bus. Even when your child isn't on the bus, Five Seasons Transportation is helping keep them safe by using pollution-free biodiesel and alcohol fuels, Iowa products that help keep the air clean. And if your child is ever in trouble, they can always flag down a bus for help. I'm Dave Town, and I like to think of the bus as a traveling safety cocoon, motoring along Cedar Rapids streets. And keep in mind, if the bus is that safe and easy for your child, maybe you should think about riding the bus to work. Affordable, convenient, and safe. That's the bus. Ride it.
We go to the bottom half of the 7th inning, and the Kernels lead at 8-4. Marco Albano lifts the first pitch foul off to the left, strike 1. It looks like Tim DeJurgis may take over for the Kernels in the top of the 8th inning. And if so, what a great outing for Robert Moose Mosebach. He could win his 5th game of the year if the Kernels can play well down the stretch here tonight. Swing and a miss by Marco. He's in the hole 0-2. And Levita Hill, that Army troop transport truck, is still parked out on the parking lot right in front of the main entrance to the ballpark. And in just a moment, I want you to remind our listeners how they can contribute to our 4th annual Freedom from Hunger drive. Ball 1 way high.
That's right. The goal is to raise 30 tons or 60,000 pounds of food for area assistance programs. The Kernels are pitching in to help with the 4th annual Freedom from Hunger Community Challenge food drive. Together, with your help, we can create a hunger-free community. Join us in supporting the 4th annual Freedom from Hunger food drive by bringing in your donations of non-perishable food items to the ballpark today through July 2nd. Just deposit your donations in a vintage Army troop transport vehicle parked outside the stadium, and everyone who donates will enter to win a daily prize package. Join us in pitching in to end hunger in our community.
That's the goal, and we really appreciate the great response so far, but there are 2 more full days to help bring an end to hunger in our community through your contribution of a non-perishable food item into the Army Troop Transport truck here on the parking lot right in front of the main entrance of the ballpark. Marco Albano down on strikes, swung at a pitch in the dirt for strike 3. This is the 2nd full inning of work for reliever Jose Rojas. The Kernels lead this one in the bottom of the 7th, 8-4. And we're back to the top of the order. Brad Kuhn, who has scored twice, is 2 for 4 tonight. Ball 1 is high. And Luvita also has a review of the action at Wrigley Field, interleague play in the crosstown rivalry this afternoon, and also a couple of finals already tonight on the State Farm Major League scoreboard.
That's right. Thanks to State Farm Insurance agent Al Shetler.
Here's a line drive into left, and it's off the glove of the diving Holden. Let's see if Boone can make it to third. Brad's rounding second. He's pedaling to third. The throw by the left fielder to the relay man on to third. Not in time. Brad Kuhn has a triple, and he now has 6 triples this year. Brad Kuhn with a 1-out triple here in the 7th inning. That's the 12th Kernel hit of the night. And Kuhn has singled, doubled, and tripled. If we can drive Brad in from third with 1 out, he will have scored his 3rd run of the game. Larry Infante, believe it or not, is trying to go 5 for 5. We'd take just a fly ball from Larry to drive home Kuhn. Let's see if Larry Infante with the infield in can go 5 for 5. Swing and a miss on a high fastball. Luvita, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
Nope, that was excitement right there.
Well, we'll get to that State Farm Major League scoreboard between pitches here. The 0-1 to Larry. Corked foul off to the left, strike 2.
For this State Farm Major League scoreboard, at Wrigley Field this afternoon, the White Sox nipped the Cubs 6-2. And games completed earlier this evening at Rogers Center, the Blue Jays whipped the Phillies 8-1. And
swing and a miss by Larry, a pitch in the dirt, and that's the first time Larry Infante's been retired tonight. 2 away here in the 7th. Holding at third is Brad Kuhn.
And at RFK Stadium,
yes, the Nationals are playing I don't know who.
At RFK Stadium, the Nationals bow to the Devil Rays 11-1.
Boy, Tampa Bay with a huge win over the Nationals 11-1. Ball 1 in the dirt to Heinley Stacia.
And we'd like to thank State Farm Insurance agents Al Shetler, Dale Thompson, Gary Shubat, and Brad Dunn. And Gary Shubat is with us this game. He bought some lunch balls.
Oh, Luvita, that is great. Gary Shubat, State Farm Insurance agent, is here, and he's going to launch his tennis ball onto the field after the game in the AirTran Quad City International Airport launch-a-ball promotion. Ball 2 is outside to the switch-hitting all-star Kernel shortstop, Heinley Stacia. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Kernels trying to add to an 8-4 lead. Have Kuhn at third with 2 away. It's 2-0 to Heinley. Stacia tonight has 2 hits and has walked twice. Ball 3 is downstairs to Heinley. We'll have our baseball fun fact for you in the top of the 8th inning. And it relates to the movie industry, a baseball movie that you may not run out to rent, but it's a fun story to tell. Ball 4 to Heinley Stacia. That walk by Jose Rojas, his second. Rojas has struck out 4. He's the second relief pitcher used tonight by the Dragons. Here's Flint Whipke, and here comes Billy Gardner, and we're going to have a pitching change, I think. A right-hander is throwing in the Dragon bullpen. Earlier tonight, Larry Pearson, the Dragon pitching coach, was ejected. That was back in the 1st inning as he said something to the plate umpire. Yes, we are going to have a new Dragon pitcher. I believe it's going to be Damian Urson. Damian Urson has come on to pitch for Dayton. Damian Urson, right-hander, now pitching for Dayton. Urson, no record this year. He's on for the 14th time, and high ERA of 5.54. Damian Urson has pitched 13 innings, surrendered 11 hits. In 13 innings, he's fanned 12, walked 9. The league hitting .216 against right-hander Damian Urson. Well, while he warms up, let me remind you that tomorrow is Procter & Gamble Fireworks Night here at the ballpark. A 7 o'clock start against these very Dayton Dragons. The gates open at 6. Procter & Gamble will continue our fabulous series of Saturday night fireworks. And then Myron Noodleman is here Sunday afternoon. It's Freedom Festival Day at the ballpark. If you're among the first 500 fans wearing a Freedom Festival pin, you'll receive a backpack shaped like a jersey. The game starts at 2. The gates open at 1 for Myron Noodleman. Freedom Festival jersey backpack shaped in a jersey giveaway. And again, you can run the bases after the game on Sunday thanks to Velocity Sports Performance. Damian Urson, U-R-S-I-N, is now pitching for the Dragons. Damian Urson is out of Southern University in Baton Rouge, Tennessee. He pitched in the same program that produced Milwaukee Brewers star Ricky Weeks. Also, our star outfielder, one of our star outfielders from last year, Drew Toussaint, hails from Southern University in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Flint Whipke's at the plate. Oh, Luvita Hill, thank you very much. Luvita, I forgot you have your assignment tonight with Citizens Unlimited. Yes, tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Luvita, thank you so much. My goodness, here I was having Luvita give us all this information, and she's got a second job to get to. Strike one to Flint Whipke from Damian Urson. Damian pitched as a Dragon last year. He was 0-4 with Dayton. And his fastball in the dirt, trying for second. Stacia Heinley is out before Kuhn can cross the plate. The caught stealing goes 2-4. Craig Tatum throwing out Stacia on a pitch in the dirt. And so that out is recorded to end the Kernels' 7th inning. Our baseball fun fact is just ahead after 7. The Kernels lead Dayton 8-4, and you're tuned to Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
Get ready for summer and beat high gas prices with a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Keel Honda. Their inventory is jam-packed with fuel-efficient vehicles designed to save you money. Get an economical sedan for your daily commute, or indulge your sporty side with a high-performance coupe. Randy Keel Honda carries a large selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles, backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty and 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Need to haul the entire family? For a limited time, you can get special financing on Honda certified pre-owned Odysseys. Whatever your driving needs, Randy Keel Honda has the vehicle for you. Visit Randy Keel Honda on Centerpoint Road Northeast or online at randykeel.com. Randy Keel Honda, where they treat you right.
When you're in the market to buy or sell a home, how can you differentiate one realtor from another? The distinction is clear when you consider the remarkable offer that Dick Ramsey of Skogman Realty makes. Dick Ramsey's offer is unprecedented. Buy one of Dick Ramsey's homes, and Dick Ramsey will buy yours. That extraordinary pledge bears instant replay. Buy one of Dick Ramsey's homes, and Dick Ramsey will buy yours. For the best home buying or home selling experience in Cedar Rapids, turn to the home team. Skogman Realty's Dick Ramsey.
Marco Albano, as we start the top of the 8th inning, is now in left field. He moves from left field from right field here in the 8th inning, and taking over in right field for Marco Albano is Madison Edwards. So Flint Whipke, the left fielder, has been lifted as we start the 8th inning. Moose Mosebach has answered the bell. I thought Moose Mosebach might be lifted from this game, but he'll pitch to the Dragons in the bottom of the 8th inning. Madison Edwards, by the way, will lead off for the Kernels in the bottom of the 8th inning after taking over in right field here in the top of the 8th. Mosebach falls behind the left-handed the switch hitting cleanup batter, B.J. Szymanski. Well, if you ever run away from home, that's one of the storylines in a 1962 movie, a black and white B picture, Safe at Home. It's a movie that exploited the popular, capitalized, I hate to use the word exploit. Here's a high fly ball into left. Marco Albano takes a few steps in and waits and has it. B.J. Szymanski flies to left. That's 9 in a row set down by Moose Mosebach. 9 straight retired by the Colonel, 21-year-old right-hander. A movie was made to capitalize on the popularity of the M&M Boys, Maris and Mantle, after their 1961 season. Remember, Maris hit 61 homers, Mantle hit 54. And a movie was made entitled Safe at Home, black and white movie. And it's about a youngster who essentially lies to his buddies about having a close personal friendship with all the New York Yankees. And when the kid is forced to back up his claim, he runs away from home and he heads for the Yankees spring training camp in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. He sneaks into the clubhouse and the boy meets Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris. The story gets better after this. The 1-1 to Mike Griffin is sliced foul. There may be a play for Trumbo in the Colonel bullpen. Mark pedals into the bullpen on the warning track material, makes the play. Mark Trumbo, with a nifty piece of fielding, had to move quickly down into the right field Colonel bullpen to make the catch on that foul pop off the bat of Mike Griffin. That's now 10 straight set down by the Colonel right-hander, Mosebach. Getting back to the crazy and funny storyline of the 1962 movie classic Safe at Home, starring in their flesh Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris, this kid then begs Mantle and Maris to come back home with him and attend a Little League banquet so he can prove to his friends back home that Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris are his friends. Well, they do that, and before they do it, though, Maris and Mantle belt a few fastballs out of the Fort Lauderdale home, spring training home of the Yankees. An 0-2 pitch to Bobby Mosby's low and away. And according to the fellow that reviewed this 1962 black and white film, Maris and Mantle looked about as comfortable acting as they would rookies in their first game. He says, too bad they weren't benched. Judging from the box office receipts, moviegoers called Safe at Home Out at the Theater. A 1962 movie classic, Safe at Home, our baseball fun fact. A tap over the mound. Larry Infante has it behind second. His throw to first gets Bobby Mosby, and Moose Mosebach retires the Dragons in order for the third time in a row. Mosebach sets Dayton down 1-2-3-0 across for the third straight time. And Mosebach has set down 11 straight Dragon hitters. Wow! Moose Mosebach, in quest of his fifth win of the year, has been a great protector of a Colonel 8-4 lead. After 7.5, it's the Kernels leading the Dragons 8-4, and you're enjoying Colonel Baseball on the Colonel Radio Network.
Are you looking to take your baseball or softball game to the next level? The premier place to do it is Perfect Game, located across the street from Veterans Memorial Stadium. Perfect Game's professional baseball and softball instructors will help improve your pitching, hitting, throwing, fielding, and base running abilities in Iowa's premier training facility. For the best individual baseball and softball instruction and training, visit Perfect Game. That's Perfect Game, just a fly ball away from Veterans Memorial Stadium.
When it comes to making buying decisions, people let their fingers do the walking through Yellow Book Yellow Pages. It's no wonder. Yellow Book's packed with ads, coupons, restaurant menus, and more. Delivering to homes and businesses throughout the area, Yellow Book combines the features consumers want with advertising rates business owners can afford. To place your ad, call 1-800-YB-YELLOW. That's 1-800-YB-YELLOW. Yellow Book, not the other book.
Bottom of the eighth inning. You're enjoying the action here on 1450 KMRY. Tomorrow evening we'll be on In the Zone, 1600 a.m. And it's Damian Urson to take on Madison Edwards. Madison came into the ball game in right field in the top of this eighth inning. Marco Albano went from right to left, and Flint Whipke's been lifted from the ball game. Madison Edwards had a hit last night. In fact, he started the Colonel 3-run third inning with the base hit. He was 1 for 3, left-handed hitter. Ball 2 in the third from Damian Urson. Madison Edwards on the year batting .135. This is his 40th game. No homers, 2 RBIs. 8-4 Kernels. And we're in the lower half of the 8th inning. Urson fires a strike on the outside corner. Damian Urson was 0-4 in 4 starts and 5 relief appearances for the Dragons last year. He pitched for Dayton in 2004, was 0-6 in 8 starts and 13 relief appearances, and he was with Dayton in 2003, relieved in 13 games, was 0-2. Damian Urson, an 8th-round pick by Cincinnati in 2003, is in his 4th season as a Dragon. He misses low, ball 3 to Madison Edwards. Now a tip foul at the feet of the catcher, Craig Tatum, 8-4 Kernels. Well, a final word on our baseball fun fact. We highlighted the storyline of Safe at Home that starred Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris back in 1962. And this fellow that reviewed the movie said the only way you'll see it would be to flip around your cable channels between 3 and 4:30 in the morning some night. Ball 4 is high, and Madison Edwards draws a leadoff walk to open up the Colonel 8th inning. Madison Edwards is aboard. I'm trying to figure out. Oh, I also wanted to mention, I know Marcia Moran's mother listens to all of our games, and Mrs. Moran, I know your daughter, Marcia, loves the movie Safe at Home, so don't think some lousy review by some offbeat movie critic should spoil the fun. I think it's neat that Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris were in a movie, Safe at Home, in 1962, and I'm glad your daughter, Marcia, has the movie on DVD. Marcia loves that old movie. Why not? How often do you get a modern-day superstar in a black and white movie from the early 60s? Swing and a miss by Jordan Renz, who swung like Mickey Mantle. Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris both, of course, have passed on, but they called them the M&M Boys. 1-1 to Jordan Renz, who's had a great night at the plate. 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. The runner goes, and a tap over the hill. It's charged by Rosales. Adam unloads from behind the mound to get the batter, Jordan Renz, on a hit and run. And down to second goes Madison Edwards. Here's Mark Trumbo. Jose Rojas went 3 innings out of the Dayton bullpen and allowed no runs on 2 hits. The Colonels have a dozen hits tonight. One of them by this batter, Mark Trumbo. He drove in a run in the Colonel 3-run first. And then Mark doubled leading off the 3rd inning. Ball 1 low and away from right-hander Damian Urson. Rojas in 3 innings allowed no runs on 2 hits. Jose struck out 4 Colonels. And he walked 3. Check that. He walked 2. A high pop foul onto the Miller Mezzanine Terrace above the Colonel first base dugout. Strike 1 to Mark. Moose Mosebach, 8 innings pitched so far tonight, has given up 4 runs on just 8 hits. Struck out 6. And Moose has walked none. Mark Trumbo slices a drive foul into the backstop, and Mark is in the hole 1-2. One and two, the count to Trumbo, and a swing and a miss. Mark Trumbo was done in on a Damian Urson changeup for the 2nd out here in the Colonel 8th inning. Josh Davies will try to break out of a little rut that has seen him strike out his last 3 times. Josh is a tall, thin 20-year-old who's really impressed all the folks that follow the Colonels. He's hit well, and he's played 3 different positions for the Colonels. 4 different positions. 3rd base, 2nd base, 1st base, and outfield. Strike 1 on the outside corner to Josh Davies. Now the Colonels have Chris Howell, a right-hander, warming up in the bullpen. Earlier it was Tim DeJurgis. Swing and a miss on a fastball. Strike 2 on the Colonel number 7 hitter, Josh Davies. It looks like Chris Howell may come into this game. Davies on an 0-2 count. It's a pitch in between the legs of the catcher, Tatum. It ricochets back to Craig. And on to third. On the wild pitch goes Madison Edwards. Madison Edwards at second. At third now, advancing from second to third. Again, Chris Howell looks like he may take over in the 9th inning for the Kernels. Swing and a miss by Josh as he chased a changeup blown away. No runs for the Kernels in the 8th inning. A leadoff walk. There were no hits. There were no dragon errors. The Kernels leave one aboard. And we have now left, let's see, we left one in the 7th inning. So we've left 10 men. This is the first inning. The Kernels have had a base runner in every inning. This is the first inning. The Kernels have not had a hit. Moose Mosebach is going out to the hill to try to finish what he started. After 8 full innings, it's the Kernels 8 and the Dragons 4. You're enjoying Kernel Baseball on the Kernel Radio Network.
When it comes to auto insurance, Westside Agency in Palo, your professional Pekin insurance agency, will make certain you're properly insured with the right coverages and deductibles. Westside Agency will tell you about the money-saving discounts from Pekin Insurance. Multi-car discount, good student discount, loss-free discount, 45-plus auto discount, auto home discount, low mileage discount. To see if you qualify for any of these auto discounts that will lower your premiums, visit Westside Agency in Palo. Honey, don't throw those cardboard boxes away.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that we're not allowed to do that. What should I do with them?
Cardboard is recyclable. Just cut the boxes up and flatten the pieces. There's some string in the garage that you can bundle the pieces up with. Make sure you use the string, though, not tape.
Okay, I cut the cardboard boxes up, flatten the pieces, and bundle them together with the string. Now what do I do with it?
Just set it out next to the blue curbside recycling box.
Remember, cardboard is not accepted as garbage. Follow the steps you heard carried out by our happy couple and recycle your cardboard.
We go to the top of the 9th inning, and the Kernels are trying to see if Moose Mosebach can go the distance. He has retired 11 straight Dragon hitters, has the 21-year-old Colonel right-hander. Moose surrendered 2 runs in the 2nd, 2 in the 4th, but is... or 2 in the 5th, but has been very, very good so far. Well, for 8 innings. Not so far, but for 8 innings. Leading off for the Dragons is Craig Tatum. Ball 1 is inside from the Colonel right-hander. Who's set down 11 straight. Strike 1 on the inside corner. Moose Mosebach, 95 in the 3rd innings pitched. Before this, his 16th start of the year, had given 99 hits, struck out 49, walked 23. He misses low in the dirt, and that's a ball to Craig Tatum. 8-4 Kernels. The 2-1 to the right-hand hitting catcher, swung on and missed, strike 2. The 2-2 to Tatum. Swing and a miss. That's 12 in a row retired by Moose Mosebach, and it's his 7th strikeout. You talk about a gutty, tough kid. That's Moose Mosebach. 7 strikeouts tonight. And with 1 out in the 9th inning, the Dragon right-handed hitting third baseman Brad Key looks at strike 1 called. Mosebach trying to go the distance and finish with a fantastic string of outs. He's retired 12 in a row. Ball 1 is inside from the Colonel right-hander. Man, has Moose Mosebach pitched well tonight. That's really putting it mildly. He's pitched fantastic. Ground ball to second. Backhanded by Infante. Larry to first. That's 13 in a row. 13 in a row retired by Mosebach. And now he'll try to get Josh Holden and go the distance. Moose Mosebach will try to go the distance here tonight. And the crowd, led by Josh Boots' pep squad, is clapping in unison. The crowd clapping together. Holden is nothing for 3 tonight, and he takes strike one called. 3,173. Whooping it up here at Veterans Memorial Stadium. Holden drills it foul. Strike 2. 0-2 to Josh Holden. Moose Mosebach trying to put a lid on his 5th win of the year and make it 14 straight Dragons. Here's the 0-2 pitch. A bouncer over the hill. Stacia has it, fumbles it, and the batter reaches. Moose Mosebach got a tap over the mound. Josh Holden reaches on what will be ruled justifiably a base hit. Stacia had to go a long way to his left. Heinle did well to get a glove on it, and as he was transferring it, trying to get it from his glove hand to his throwing hand, he dropped it. So it's a hit, and that's the first Dragon base runner since the 5th inning. The first Dayton base runner since the 5th inning. Runner at first. 2 away. Here's Mike DeJesus looking at a strike called. 8-4 Kernels, top of the 9th inning. The kids from Mount Vernon and Lisbon are on their feet. DeJesus loops it into left. This should do it. Drifting back, Albano. Marco has it. And the Kernels have evened this series at a game apiece on a complete game win for Moose Mosebach. Moose gets a big hug from catcher Brett Martinez. Moose Mosebach throws a complete game, and the Kernels trounce the Dragons 8-4. Mosebach, the winner, goes the distance. What an inspirational performance for the Kernel 21-year-old right-hander. And the Kernels pulled even with Dayton in this series, winning tonight big 8-4. 8-4 Kernels. Totals, highlights, and more coming your way next on the Kernel Curtain Call here on the Kernel Radio Network.
Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to the ballpark every Wednesday this season. You heard right. Fairfax State Savings Bank is paying you to come to Veterans Memorial Stadium every Wednesday this season. The first 750 of you Kernel fans to enter the gates before Wednesday's home game will receive an envelope full of money inside from Fairfax State Savings Bank. Each of those 750 envelopes will contain a greenback up to a $100 bill. Fairfax State Savings Bank, free money Wednesdays. Come early to line your pocket with cash.
There's a lot you can do to satisfy your taste for Italian. You can marry one. Do you, Susan? Take Giuseppe going to. You can drive one. You can go to Zio Giano's and feast on Zio's homemade bread, pizzas, and pasta, authentically prepared as Zio Giano's famous Italian style. Zio Giano's for the hometown taste of Italy.
Come to Zio Giano's, la pasta makes you Zio. Come to Zio Giano's for real Italiano. Come to Zio Giano's, the pasta makes.
You could probably hear Carla Davis, our on-field hostess, announcing launch a ball, and the green tennis balls are being hurled down on the field in the AirTran Quad City International Airport launch a ball promotion. Many of them sold by, well, all of them sold by Colonel Broadcast Assistant Levita Hill and Colonel Assistant Sonia Massey, and a lot of them are being tossed down from the suites. Kernels were sweet tonight as they thumped the Dayton Dragons 8-4. Welcome back to the Kernel Curtain Call here on the Kernel Radio Network, where a crowd of 3,173 saw the Kernels rattle 20-year-old right-hander Daniel Guerrero Guerrero was making his first start in Midwest League after going 2-0 with the Billings Mustangs. And the Kernels jumped ahead with 3 in the first inning. Brad Kuhn single on an 0-2 pitch to left. Larry Infante with Kuhn running plugged it right into the hole where the shortstop vacated. Adam Rosales was going to cover second when Kuhn took off for second, and Infante's hit run single sent Kuhn to third. Stacia walked to load the bases. Flint Whipke drove in his 22nd run of the year when he drew a bases-loaded walk, 1-0 Kernels. Jordan Renz walked with the bases loaded, scoring Infante to make it 2-0, and then Heinle Stacia scored from third on an RBI sacrifice fly by Mark Trumbo. The Kernels scored 3 runs in the bottom of the first inning. Dayton answered with 2 runs on 3 hits. Hit batsman, 2 Mosebach balks. The Dragons got right back into the game in the second inning with those 2 runs. Brad Kuhn, though, with 1 out in the second, doubled, and Larry Infante then launched his 3rd home run of the year to give the Kernels a 5-2 lead. The home run by Infante with Kuhn aboard in the second made it 5-2, and it meant that PRC's Community Care donated another $25 to the Haycap Food Reservoir in PRC's Home Runs for the Hungry campaign. And it was the 45th home run slugged by the Kernels this year, and that means PRC's Community Care has contributed a whopping $1,125 to the Haycap Food Reservoir in their Home Runs for the Hungry campaign. The game stayed 5-2 Kernels until the bottom of the 4th inning, and that's when the Kernels got base hits from Infante and Stacia, and a run scored on a misplayed double play ball hit back to the relief pitcher Rainer Felice. The Kernels also got an RBI single from Jordan Renz, and the Kernels led it 7-2 after 4 innings. Dayton scored 2 runs in the 5th inning on a 2-run double by Jay Bruce. That 2-run double by Bruce made it 7-4 Kernels. And then in the bottom of the 5th, the Kernels rounded out the night scoring on an RBI single by Larry Infante. It was Larry's 4th straight hit, and it gave the Kernels an 8-4 win in this, or an 8-4 lead in this 8-4 Kernel victory. Moose Mosebach was sensational. The starter went the distance, allowed 4 runs on 8 hits, struck out 7, walked none, hit a batter. Moose Mosebach, the winner in this game. 8-4 Kernels. Here's the final line score. The Kernels 8 runs, 12 hits, no errors, and the Kernels, we left 10. The Dragons 4 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors. Dayton left 6 men aboard. Winning pitcher, a complete game victory for Moose Mosebach. He's 5-4, and Dayton loser was their starter, Daniel Guerrero. He is 0-1. The game took 2 hours and 33 minutes to play before a raucous crowd of 3,173. We'll be back in just a minute with the second portion of the Colonel Curtain Call here on the Colonel Radio Network.
The hottest feature in beautiful Veterans Memorial Stadium is the coolest place. It's the Whirling Waters Home Run Hot Tub. How can you and your friends relax and splash it up from the most coveted spot at the ballpark? Simply register at Center Point in Westdale Mall and listen. If you're selected as the winner, you'll enjoy the ultimate entertainment experience. AquaJet Stream Comfort atop the left field wall in the Whirling Waters Home Run Hot Tub. Brought to you by Westdale Mall and Whirling Waters. Your chance to splash it up.
Get ready for summer and beat high gas prices with a pre-owned vehicle from Randy Keel Honda. Their inventory is jam-packed with fuel-efficient vehicles designed to save you money. Get an economical sedan for your daily commute, or indulge your sporty side with a high-performance coupe. Randy Keel Honda carries a large selection of Honda certified pre-owned vehicles, backed by a 12-month, 12,000-mile comprehensive warranty and 7-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Need to haul the entire family? For a limited time, you can get special financing on Honda certified pre-owned Odyssey. Whatever your driving needs, Randy Keel Honda has the vehicle for you. Visit Randy Keel Honda on Centerpoint Road Northeast or online at randykeel.com. Randy Keel Honda, where they treat you right.
The Kernels even this series at a game apiece with an 8-4 victory over the Dayton Dragons. PRC is now proud to bring us the PRC play of the game. If you're looking for a job that you'll love, PRC has it. You can visit PRC and learn all about their fabulous career opportunities by visiting their website, www.prcnet.com. Larry Infante belted a 2-run homer in the second inning to put the Kernels up 5-2. The Kernels led the game 5-2, or rather 6. Well, let's see. I'm sorry. I've been thrown off a little bit with Colonel Broadcast Assistant Louita Hill having to leave early for her second job. So pardon me as I get my facts straight here. Larry Infante was batting in the bottom of the fifth inning with the Kernels leading 7-4. Infante had singled and scored in the first, belted a 2-run homer in the second to make it 5-2 Kernels, singled and scored in the fourth inning, and Larry was batting in the fifth inning with the Kernels leading the game 7-4. Infante at the plate, Marco Albano on base, and here's our PRC play of the game.
Like a lot of ice cream and hot dogs out there. We like to hear that. A pickoff attempt at second. Marco Albano gets back as the throw by Feliz got by. The shortstop, Adam Rosales into center. Under Larry Infante here in the bottom of the fifth inning. 7-4 Kernels. Runner at second, 2 away. The 0-1. Ground ball. Base hit into right. Base hit into right. Base hit around third is Marco Albano. The throw home from Bruce. Not in time. Cut off. Throw to second. Larry save. Larry Infante with a 2-out RBI single into right. His fourth hit in a row. His fourth hit in a row. And it gives the Kernels an 8-4 lead here in the bottom of the fifth inning.
Larry Infante with an RBI single, as I called it, his fourth hit in a row, chasing home Marco Albano to give the Kernels an 8-4 lead. That's our PRC play of the game. PRC has a benefit package that's outstanding. It's called Life Essentials. It includes a 401k savings retirement plan, medical, dental, vision, and pet insurance, flexible schedule, and casual dress. To learn more about a company you'll love working for, visit PRC online, www.prcnet.com. That's our PRC play of the game here on the Colonel Curtin Call. We'll be back in just a moment with a complete look at the State Farm Major League scoreboard. Colonels win it tonight 8-4. This is the Colonel Curtin Call on the Colonel Radio Network.